It's like, and the way he gets to the butt, like the way he shoots the ball is just like he doesn't even want to be shooting the ball. It's like those 6 shots are them forcing him to shoot the ball.
I mean, Ben Simmons, man. I mean, the comparisons he had coming out of college were Magic Johnson, LeBron, and before the situation, I defended him because it was either him or B. Which one would you build around with? I said, move on from Embiid because I don't trust his durability history. I build the team around Ben Simmons. I surround him with shooters, kind of like how Milwaukee did with Giannis. It is, and after years later, I'm like dead wrong because with Embiid, ever since Doc Rivers came in as the head coach, he's improved his game. He's playing at a higher level. His conditioning has gotten better. Ben Simmons, on the other hand, he substantially regressed. And I just don't know if you can build around Ben Simmons. I don't even know any team at this point wants him. Like literally, he has like the worst contract in the NBA.
Yeah,
Like he's
that's
making
a fact.
$35 million. He's making more money than Jokic. He's making more money than all the other players in the NBA. And he's averaging 6.9 points a game.
Hey, so y'all check it out. Once L hosts out a run, he left us hanging. I had to Emil, PSP, we had to come save the day, but it's all good. Hey, we got y'all back. We got y'all back. Y'all don't even trip. Um, so we're gonna start off talking about what happened last night. Did y'all check out what happened last night with the Heat in the Mavericks game?
Yeah,
Yes.
that was a good one. Mavs ain't gonna make even if the Mavs make the playoffs, they're not going that far. They just can't play defense. They just
Yeah,
can't play defense.
And
yeah,
it's like they can't play defense. They don't have a great scheme, and they don't try. Like it's like you could at least not have great defenders, but have a decent scheme. But when you don't even have none of the three, like you
yeah.
can't do anything, bro. You can't do anything.
But what do y'all think about Luka and Kyrie though? Can they not mesh, or is it just a little too early, too much, too fast? Like, do they need to spend some more time together? Is it possible,
They need
or
more
what's the deal
time.
with them?
I'm at this point, just throw away the season and then just focus on next season, see what they can do in free agency.
I think
Go ahead, PSP.
I just think they need to just focus on the draft, free agency. They need to make some adjustments and stuff like that. With Kyrie and Luka, that's an exciting offensive duo. They're gonna have to figure out, okay, in critical situations, clutch shot situations, who's gonna take the last shot? Is it Luka or is it gonna be Kyrie?
Mm.
Those are situations that they're gonna have to address. Kyrie's gonna be entering free agency though, so Dallas, they're gonna give him Dallas may give him the max. We don't know what he's going to do. I mean, I actually thought before the trade he was gonna go to the Lakers because it
Mm.
seemed like that was the only team, but the Nets owner had something to do with it. So I don't know what's gonna happen with Luka and Kyrie, but I still think they need some time to develop in order for them to get that far. And I don't know what
They
Jason Kidd is gonna have to do.
they saying in the chat that the game last night, the Mavs versus Heat, was a mid off. Is that true? Like, are the Heat mid, or are the Heat turning it on at the right part of the season? What you think, Emil?
I think if you paired them up like earlier in the season, I do think they would have probably been at least a play-in team. I do agree with that. But I don't think Kyrie and Luka as the duo is what Luka needs. I think Luka needs a two-way player, somebody like Jimmy Butler, Jaylen Brown, that type of player, to where he can play off of Luka on the offensive end and make up for Luka's defense. Because I think pairing Luka up with another person who can't defend isn't the ideal pairing for Luka, or pair him up with a dominant big. Those are the
Yeah.
two. I think that's the best pairing for Luka. But I do think if you had them start out the season together, I do think they would have finished as a higher seed. I don't think they would have missed the playoffs.
Weren't
Facts.
they like the fourth seed before?
Yeah. They were the
They was-
fourth before the trade.
That was up there. But the other game that went down was the Clippers versus the Pelicans. Obviously, they're both missing, 2-star pieces in Zion and Paul George. But what about Brandon Ingram, though?
He's been playing out of his mind lately with the triple doubles and stuff. I mean, the Clippers, Kawhi was 15 and 28. Russ played well too. 9 of 18 from the field, 3 of 6 from 3-point range, 24 and 9. I just think the Clippers defensively, they didn't play too well. I don't know with Zion, should he I think for me, I would just sit him out for the rest of the season because I can't trust his durability history. I would just sit him down for the rest of the season and just focus on next year. That's all I got to say regarding that.
Same, pretty much the same thing. I think, like you said, point of attack defense for the Clippers, like people have been saying, is an issue. Obviously, when you're missing Paul George, it's going to be a lot harder. But as far as the Pelicans are concerned, I do think they should just sit Zion for the rest of the season. There's no point of playing him right now. Like they're not going to do anything significant enough to, rush him back for. So I agree with what he said.
No doubt. And then so tonight we have a marquee matchup tonight though with the Sixers and the Bucks. Is as far as I know, everybody's suiting up, right?
Yeah.
That's a potential Eastern Conference Finals preview. I hope that the Sixers make the conference finals this year.
Who's winning tonight though?
Is it at Philadelphia or at Milwaukee?
I think it's at Milwaukee. Hold on, let me see. Yes, at Milwaukee.
The Bucks have to respond after getting embarrassed the other night against Boston.
Yeah,
they got to find a way to respond from this one. But I'm gonna go Milwaukee 112, Philly 103.
What about you, Amir?
I agree. I think Milwaukee's going to win, especially after getting blown out by 40. The last time we seen them, I think they're going to definitely bounce back. I think Giannis is going to have a statement game. But I do think Joel Embiid is going to cook, though. But I have Milwaukee winning this one by at least 10-15.
Yeah, I got Milwaukee beating the hell out the Sixers today. Just kind of that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing the other night. Plus, Joel, I don't think he can keep up with Giannis like that. So I think it might get ugly. On the but out west though, the Warriors and the Nuggets go at it tonight too. So I mean, and
Is that
that's
Denver
actually
or Golden State?
That's at Denver. That's at Denver. So
Well, we know that the Warriors struggle on the road.
I'm about to say that's not looking too hot then.
Yeah.
It's looking like that. So we got a couple more games. Mavericks and Hawks. Can the Mavericks respond to last night and knock the Hawks off?
I think they'll win tonight against Atlanta.
I would. Yeah, I was about to say I would hope so, bro. It's Atlanta.
And then the Suns. The next game I'm thinking about is the Suns and the Thunder. With the Thunder still trying to fight to secure their playing position, and I mean they're a hot team. Is there any
I'm
way?
gonna go with
any
the
way
Thunder
possible?
tonight. I
You got
think
the Thunder.
Shai's gonna go off.
Yeah.
I think Shai's gonna go off in that game. I mean, KD and Book, we know what they're gonna do, but I think Shai's gonna go off. I wouldn't be surprised if he gives me 40 tonight.
Shai go for 40 tonight. Damn.
We are not losing to the back-to-back. We already lost to them once without KD. We're not losing to them with KD, bro.
Shai feels the same way with KD. Man, I'm still not sold on them.
The Thunder?
Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm not sold. I'm definitely not sold on the Thunder, but I'm not sold on the Suns though. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, for me, if KD's healthy, that's the thing though. And then we gotta look at what CP3 and Book do in the playoffs. I mean, it's really tricky with the West because Denver. I mean, I still have I mean, I don't know. Denver, if they face the Nuggets in the first round, that's going to be hell for the Nuggets, especially when they go up against a healthy Lakers squad.
I see the Lakers beating Denver, honestly.
Yeah.
If the Lakers catch up with Denver in the first round, I think the Nuggets are out of there. Speaking of the Lakers, though, we just got this super chat. Does Rob Pelinka deserve Executive of the Year? That's from Melon. I don't know if if he's trolling, but I mean Rob did make some good moves at the trade deadline and kind of
Russell.
secure their defense at least. But I think Executive of the Year is a very long, very 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 long stretch. I would say
got to give it to your Kings, man. Your Kings.
I was about to say, Monty got that on lock. I can't wait to go back in to the older episodes and dig up all the clips of me talking about how good the Kings was gonna be this year, and then all the faces of everybody that was laughing at me, all the super chats calling me stupid, everybody in the chat on my line, and I'm like, y'all just don't see what I see, but you know.
But I agree with Fluent. The Kings, I think they have no pressure because they have no expectations.
Yeah.
And that was the argument that he was making on the show with Chill. Young team, first time in 16 years since they've made the playoffs. Young squad, Mike Brown, Coach of the Year. So I think Sacramento is going to be exciting to see how they play coming into the playoffs.
Sacramento, who us?
Yeah, Sacramento.
Right now it looks like since the Warriors just went to the 6, I think right now we're matched up with the Clippers. Man, without Paul George, I don't think the Clippers wanna I don't think they really want it with us.
I've been saying since I believe it was like the 3rd or 4th week in the season, the Kings blew out the Nets. They won they put up 140 on the Nets. And I said since that moment, my Kings are the sleeper team to come to make it a deep postseason run. And people thought I was joking. People thought I was, trolling, but they had one hell of a season. They're the 3rd seed in the West, one of the best offenses in the league. If they can find somehow, some way to get like a defensive anchor, somebody who can hold it down on the defensive end, they're gonna be scary in the next couple of years, bro.
Yeah, that's a fact. We coming.
Who do y'all think as who's under the most pressure to win the championship this year? I think it's Jokic.
I don't think it's Jokic. I think it will be more so the guys in Philly. So I mean all 3 of them. I mean Doc, James, and Joel.
Yeah.
And then besides that, I might have to say Kevin Durant.
I mean, yeah, given the fact that he got traded to Phoenix, but I say Jokic because if he doesn't get the Nuggets to the conference finals or the finals, and if they lose in the first or the second round, make no mistake about it, he's going to get criticism, scrutiny by dudes like Kendrick Perkins, Nick Wright, people like that. And then Jokic, he might win the MVP for the 3rd consecutive time in a row. First person to do that since Larry Bird. So if he doesn't have a dominant performance, and not only that, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. are back, he's got to get them at least to the conference finals. He loses in the first or second round, he's gonna get a ton of slander.
Yeah, I would say Jokic, but that's predicated on if he does win the MVP. If he does win the MVP again, then yeah, he got to do something. He at least got to get to the finals and make it competitive. But if he doesn't win the MVP, I'm still gonna go with James Harden, Joel, Kevin Durant, and even Kyrie too. Kyrie hasn't done it without LeBron. He's been bouncing around, destroying franchise after franchise. So
Kyrie under the most pressure to win this year.
I mean, I think he's under just as much pressure as Kevin Durant. Like if Kevin Durant's under pressure, then Kyrie is as well.
Okay, but if Kyrie's under pressure, what about Luka? Luka not under any pressure?
it's not the same for them. It's not the same for Luka and Kyrie. Luka still. I mean, Luka still should be getting there to compete, but I don't think that he's under pressure to necessarily win.
What about Steph?
Why would he be under pressure? He just got it done last year.
I was about to say.
Why do you think he's under pressure?
No, I don't think. No, I was asking you a question. I wasn't gonna say
okay.
pressure.
Oh no, I don't think so. I definitely don't think so. There's a couple guys that I think it's nothing. It's nothing for them. Like Giannis, he's good. Guys like that. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, they starting to get to that level of like expectations. Like, what are y'all gonna do now? Jimmy Butler's he's been under a little pressure because he's shown even though it was in the bubble, he's shown he can get there. So now it's like he's gonna
Jimmy
get the job
Butler
done.
is postseason Jimmy Butler, man. He goes crazy.
Yeah, Jimmy's shown that he can get there. So now it's kind of like get over the hump.
I don't know, man. I just think for me, man, I think Milwaukee's gonna come out the East. I think if Milton stays healthy, because last year they did struggle last year without Middleton. So if Middleton stays healthy, what up, Dub?
Hey, fellas, how's everybody doing today?
Got the nice clean cut.
Yeah, man. I had to put on for what do you call it? The Saturday King of the Court event, man. So, got the beard looking right, got the haircut. You feel me? I'm feeling exceptional. Exposing lies and taking wives.
Hey, Dub, it was a lot of robberies going on yesterday.
Yeah, bro. I got robbed twice. I would say that. I mean, it is what it is. It's nothing new. As long as I didn't get robbed against Fluent, I was fine with it. Yeah. What else? Who else got robbed?
I got robbed against Fluent. So I got robbed against Fluent.
I mentioned that the Barkley Malone debate.
And you picked Barkley?
Yeah.
You picked the losing argument though. That's why.
I did that a lot yesterday. Just trying to test my skills, trying to get sharper, trying to get better. So I was trying to take the hard road a lot yesterday. It didn't work out very well for me in terms of record, but in terms of the knowledge and the fluidity I gained yesterday, you know what I'm saying? I think it was what I wanted to do.
Nah, yesterday was a great showing for everybody. I would say that everybody had bright spots. Some guys had some dark spots as well.
I feel like it was one person that should have been on that show yesterday.
Ooh,
Leaf. Because Leaf is gonna do some crazy shit.
Nah, I love Leaf, bro, but that's the big boys, bro. That's the big leagues, man. I don't know if Leaf can handle the big leagues, man.
That was a fire event, though.
But who won though? Because I didn't watch the whole thing because I had to work.
Marz won.
How many wins did I have? Did I have 3 or 4?
I'm not surprised Marz won. Marz,
I think you got 3.
I think me, Chill, and Ticket all tied for second.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody had 4 wins.
Ticket was cooking, bro. That might have been Ticket's best little performance on. He was cooking. I had to give him his props.
Ticket was cooking, and I told Marz, I said, "Listen, bro. Even though I don't agree with LeBron James overhype, that man provided an exceptional case."
What?
I was actually on the panel. I was the only one who voted for Marz in that.
Yeah. Bro, I don't, and that's why I say the chat be on one because even though Marz had the right argument and everything, and we love Marz, you gotta give your props, man. Even though I don't agree, that man just spit bars after bars about LeBron. I'm like, dang, bro.
Marz knows his sports. Marz does his research. I saw his video the other day. I mean, especially when he broke down the box score and stuff. He knows his stuff.
Yeah, he's a little minion, man. He be in the lab, be in the laboratory over here, researching everything. Love Marz, man. Love Dog Marz to death. But what we talking about today, man? What's going on?
I was talking about who's under the most pressure to win a championship. I made the argument for Jokic because he might win the MVP again. And I feel like if he gets bounced out in the first round or the semifinals, then people like Kendrick Perkins and Nick Wright, they're going to kill his ass.
The answer is James Harden. I don't know why. I don't know why. Giannis, even though, let's say if he loses this season, he may get criticism for it, but he'll be able to, he has opportunity to turn that around. Kevin Durant, I think a lot of people will go lean with the fact that he hasn't been playing like at all with the Suns. So that's a cop out right there. LeBron cop and AD cop out because they haven't been healthy all season. Curry just won last season, so it can't be him. Kyrie, the Mavs don't really look like that good of a unit. Luka and that team don't look like that good of a unit. Maybe rings for future years, but for this year especially, it can't be those guys. James Harden's the guy. I mean, James Harden's a guy where he has a Joel Embiid who's providing a great case to be an MVP. He's been known as a choker for damn near his whole career, and now if you're not able to, if he lays an egg in the playoffs, I mean, the criticisms is coming.
Doesn't Joel share some of that with him though? Does Joel
and Doc Rivers?
Yes. Doc Rivers could be in there too. Joel can get crucified a bit too, but the thing with Joel is he gets a cop out of damn near every year he's been in the postseason. In his peak, he's been injured, so this will probably be a one-off for him, you know. So he has time to correct that. James Harden, he doesn't. James Harden doesn't have time to correct that at all. Right. It's either you show up now, you have Joel Embiid. If you lay another egg, you're done. You're done. Everybody
done meaning what though? Dub?
His legacy. His legacy's done. He's done.
I think his legacy is already set though.
Yeah, which is why I wouldn't be surprised. As far as under pressure, we've seen Harden historically come up small. So if he comes up short again, none of us are going to say, well, we're surprised or shocked or anything like that.
But that doesn't matter, though. His legacy, like Emil, you said his legacy is sealed. I think his legacy is fraudulent.
So that's my point. This is a moment in time where James Harden can correct that. Where, you know what? In 2018, your man got hurt. You know, it's kind of hard to get everything done when you're by yourself against the Spurs. And then Chris Paul in 2019 wasn't playing that well either. And then you got hurt with the Brooklyn Nets. This season is the year where he could change that narrative of his career. And if he can't, and if he lays an egg with Joel Embiid right next to him, and he's not even the best guy, he's done. They're gonna know him as a fraud. Shoot, people might even push. You might hear AI over him more than often because of it, bro.
That's what I was about to say. What, like, if he wins this year, it's not like he's getting pushed in front of Kobe. And if y'all say, well, people might say
Kobe's not yet. It's D Wade next.
Yeah, I mean D Wade. If y'all saying that AI is going to get brought into this conversation now, what was AI like? What was AI doing after 2001? Y'all making it seem like AI was doing anything else. Like, James Harden's legacy is already set. I don't see him changing what we say about James Harden in a good way or changing what we say about James Harden in a bad way.
Legacy talks, man. Legacy talks. At the end of it, James Harden went to the finals. This will be the talks. Like, I don't agree with that. I got James over AI. This will be the talks. James Harden made it to the finals one time.
Oh, you had James Harden over AI?
Yeah, I got James Harden over AI.
Oh, I thought you said AI over Harden. My fault.
No.
I'm saying that people are going to say that. I agree. I actually agree with that, Dub. I agree with that.
James, like, it's all narrative talks. It's all legacy talks. So James Harden last time he went to the finals was when he was a sixth man with Russ and KD. You had this is what they're gonna say. You had Joel Embiid, better player than any player that Allen Iverson has ever had. You still,
which is a fact.
You still couldn't get to the finals. You still couldn't get the job done. Yeah, they'll bring up KD, even though it's a nasty bend. They'll bring up KD. Couldn't get it done with him. Couldn't get it done with Chris Paul and Russell Westbrook. These are nasty narrative talks that they're gonna spin and crucify this man to put AI over him, bro. I mean, it is.
Calling these narratives nasty narrative talks is nasty. Everything you said is a fact, bro. Like,
I told you, I'm good at talking narrative talks. I just don't like doing it, man.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, like, I got Iverson over Harden anyway. You know what I'm saying? I already got him there, but it's just kind of, for me, it's like if Harden at the very least has to get to the Eastern Conference Finals this year, he has to at least do that. I'm thinking he needs to get to the finals so that we can actually have a conversation about James Harden. But if he doesn't at least get to the Eastern Conference, but I'm off for it. I'm completely 100% off.
How many times did AI make the Eastern Conference Finals?
Was it once?
Once. That was in 2001.
Harden did that in 2015
and
then-
18.
and 18. So why does he have to get to the conference finals again?
I mean, but has James Harden went to the finals when he was with KD and them? But what has he done since then? He hasn't gone. He hasn't gone. He hasn't competed. He hasn't shown up.
What did AI do after 2001?
AI was still balling. He might not have won. He was still balling. No. I mean, they okay. So look, I got them fairly close to each other, but I have to give AI the edge. I've never seen AI choke. I've never seen AI just go to sleep.
Hold on. Wait. I asked Crunch this the last episode because y'all say this all the time. What superstar in NBA history do you know can shoot more times than they score the basketball in a conference finals matchup and still manage to win that conference finals matchup? No superstar can do that. No superstar in NBA history can do that. But
Are you referring to the Allen Iverson 5 for
Yes.
27 game?
No, I'm referring to him shooting 184 times in the conference finals in 01 and only scoring 180 points, but managing to still win that series. If James Harden does that, he gets swept. If James Harden,
I think because Philly at that time, they had a great defensive team.
I agree.
Offensively, it was Allen Iverson or bust. Like, did they
Aaron
really
McKee.
have any? I'm sorry, you said something, Dub?
Aaron McKee.
Aaron McKee was nice, but Allen Iverson has never had as good a teams as James Harden.
But that's the thing, though. Y'all, the Philly team was predicated on their defense. That's what they were known for. They were known for stopping people.
Right.
AI was the scorer on that team because you have to have somebody to put the ball in the basket. But
Right.
they were shutting teams down. That's how they were winning series. It wasn't because AI was dropping 30, 40 points that they were winning series. No,
It was both. I mean, like I understand the inefficiency. Like I'm not praising inefficiency. I would never do that. But I'm saying like that was actually a team that really had problems scoring the ball from all different positions. So Allen Iverson, not only was Allen Iverson somewhat of a ball hog, he wanted the ball in his hands, but it was just the way they played. You know what I'm saying? Like all them other cats, I hate to say it, weren't very, very good at scoring. So Allen Iverson, he had to get the shots up, bro.
if AI loses that series in the conference finals, we are saying he choked. He shot more times than
But he didn't lose though. So if you would have lost,
his team was the reason why he won. But you saying
he won.
But you saying James, you said he never choked. That's false.
I wouldn't call that choking. I would call that missing hard shots.
Okay.
I would say this. Allen Iverson on the Sixers, like, bro. I mean, I get it. The inefficiency is putrid. Yeah, it's terrible. But I mean, bro, at the end of the day, when you're surrounded around all of those guys who aren't even great, like you have to shot chuck. You have no choice. You have to put the ball in their hands. Even the coach was like, "Yo, go ahead, AI, make this happen." And he did the best he could. They did make it to the finals because of their defense, but it's like, I mean, come on, bro. I don't see a lot of guys being efficient with that squad.
Okay, but let's do this. I know it's hypothetical.
6 foot.
But let's do the hypothetical. Imagine if you put James Harden on that Philadelphia 76ers roster. Would they have gone to the finals?
No.
I don't. Maybe they might have. I think
that's fair. Maybe.
If you put AI on any of those Houston teams, they're not nearly as successful as that's a weird. It's vice versa though. So I don't
know. Playing with Mike D'Antoni, man, he can unlock something special with AI. Bro.
He could put numbers up. I'm not saying he couldn't put numbers up, but would they be as successful? No, they needed James Harden. James Harden is
as far as his playmaking, his facilitating.
Yes. Which is
James Harden was taking naps. James Harden was taking naps, bro.
And also, AI isn't nearly the shooter James Harden is. Like it's not even close.
No, we agree that Harden was more efficient than Iverson.
I mean, calling Harden like efficient is crazy though.
But I'm saying more efficient compared to Iverson.
No, he's very efficient. He's pretty efficient.
He's pretty efficient. Like
all right.
It's because of the threes.
Harden
It's 'cause of
could
the threes.
average 85, 86, 87% from the free throw line.
And I agree that the reason why AI was mainly inefficient was due to the fact that he had to shoot the shots he had to shoot. I agree. I'm not neglecting that fact. That's why AI is still considered one of the best players in NBA history. All I'm saying is we never say the same thing when James Harden is responsible for everything that goes on in the offense, playmaking, passing, scoring, all of that. We never say that about James Harden, but when it comes to AI, we're like, well, he's responsible for the team scoring. Why don't we say that about James Harden? He's
Because I think for a lot of people, there's a lot more love for Allen Iverson, not only on the court, but also off the court.
Well, it's not only that. It's just that James Harden had better teams than Allen Iverson. It's not like James Harden doesn't get that same pass. Like Allen Iverson really didn't have nobody on the team to score more than 9 points. You know what I'm saying? They weren't scoring
because they were building a team that could defend the hell out of the ball. That's how you build around a.
I mean, be that as it may, you got to be able to still put the ball in the bucket.
And you also have to be able to defend somebody.
Yeah, I understand that. Like
Curry couldn't defend nobody like that either. But I mean, they built an elite defense around Curry, so it's like they did their job of finding offensive guys who could play defense as well, and then surrounded that around Curry. Allen Iverson, the Sixers didn't give him that benefit. They just committed to defense with no offensive help. Once they got Kyle Korver, once they got Chris Webber, his efficiency started going up.
And they struggled as a team.
Because Chris Webber was not good.
You said he got more offensive help, and now you're saying Chris Webber.
He got more offensive help, but even then, like Chris Webber ain't a needle mover like that. But that small help that he got, look what happened. The efficiency went up.
I agree. It made him more efficient, but overall, the team was just not nearly as good as it was in 2001.
That's not on AI though. That's
I never said it was on AI. I said the team construction in 2001 best suit AI because you put them surrounded by a whole bunch of defenders, so AI can shoot the shots he can shoot. But when you give them more offensive help, you're taking away from the team's defense. You're taking away from AI's effectiveness. That's what happened.
But no, you're trying to assume that they built that unit correctly around him. No, that's not a good way to build around Allen Iverson at all. Yes, the defense, like Curry, like Magic, like AI, you get defense. Yes, you need defense with those guys in order for them to be successful. But you need offensive help. Like Curry didn't have Clay right next to him, and then KD, and then Draymond for the years. He was actually not that bad offensively. Iggy off the bench, Livingston. Like they had good guys who could at least be a threat on the court.
Name the people in 2000 that he could have possibly played with. Name the people in 2000.
Rasheed Wallace. Rasheed Wallace and AI would have been brutal together.
That would have been almost unstoppable.
Hell yeah.
And I don't think we're having this. And if that is the case, I don't think we're having the same conversation about AI like we're having, because part of the reason why people love AI so much was because he won those 4 scoring titles, was because he was putting up all of those crazy numbers. If you pair him up with somebody like that, you're going to take away from it. And I'm not
in other words, he's overrated.
No, he's not underrated. But if you put him with a guy like
I hate using overrated.
He wants to say he's overrated. I know.
But if you put
I stopped saying overrated because it depends on who you ask.
If you put AI with Rasheed Wallace, they win a lot more. So AI will be getting the love, get even more love. It's not like his scoring would have went down crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of those missed buckets instead probably would have been passes. You know what I'm saying? Like with Rasheed, his average might go down 4 points. You know what I'm saying? 4 points maybe, but he's still scoring enough to where he's still known as a scorer. And Rasheed on the team makes them win a way more games. They get further and more playoff runs. You know what I'm saying? They might get back to the finals one or two more times. So I'm not saying Rasheed on the team wins some rings, but it changes everything for AI as far as legacy goes.
The whole point I just completely disagree with. You building a defensive unit is a part of building around AI, like Magic, like Curry, guys who aren't good defensively, like Jokic right now. You're gonna need defensive guys. That's a part of it. But the other part of it, where you need guys who can space the floor, you need shooters, you need other guys, a second option who could do things with the ball in their hands. That Sixers team was not correctly built for Allen Iverson. They got the defense part correct, like a lot of other guards, but the offensive help, they did not help him out with that at all.
I agree to disagree then.
That's fair.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
I just don't like you can say
Eric Snow and Aaron McKee and Batumbo, that's best suited for Allen Iverson. Like, what are we talking about?
Tyrone Hill.
Tyrone Hill.
They were putting teams in a cage defensively. I don't think y'all realize how insanely good they were defensively.
No, nobody's saying the defense wasn't good.
No,
but
we acknowledge how
could
they were
apply
great defense.
every bad defender in NBA history. That applies to them as well. Steph, Jokic, Magic, where they need a good defense. You need them to play defense. So it's a part of the equation. And then you're dismissing the other part of the offensive help that they need. That even Jokic has good offensive help. Steph Curry had good offensive help. It's like, why are you just excluding that part of the game?
Okay. Say that.
Okay.
If they would have got Iverson shooting before Kyle Korver, you know what I'm saying? That would have changed the whole dynamic of things too.
Bro, the 2000 Lakers didn't even have that great of like what y'all making it seem like AI is playing in this era, bro. It's the 2000s. There wasn't that many yes, there was some offensive players. There were some people who could stretch the floor, but it wasn't that crazy, bro. Like y'all making it seem like he could just find anybody in the league. Like, no.
Rashid and Kyle Korver could have put him over the hump.
So you're saying, wait, let me ask you this. If Iverson played in today's era, are you saying he'd be worse off?
No, he would be amazing.
Okay.
I think you could.
There were tons of shooters. There were tons of shooters.
Yes, of course,
not like today. They shoot the ball a lot more.
I believe you would ask Iverson to score 28, 29 a game, but you wouldn't have to ask him to do so much offensive load, though. Imagine if you put him with more offensive talent at his prime in today's game.
Yeah, I think he'll be like a better version of Ja Morant. Less athletic, right? A better version of Ja. He'll finish at the rim. He can play make, and his passing and playmaking is underrated. He could pass and play make for the guys. The spacing's there. Not a lot of people could guard him up one-on-one. He'll be a better version of Ja Morant. That's who it will be.
I can see that. Let me check this super chat real quick. Let me get this one out the way. Came through a little while ago. From Melon, are y'all gonna slander Luka when he misses the playoffs? Complain about no help and he gets Kyrie and can barely make the play-in.
I agree with Dub. Dub was making an argument. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dub. Forget about the season. Move on to next season. Focus on free agency. Focus on getting defensive help. That's what you were arguing, I think, the other day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. Slandering Luka at this point just doesn't do nothing. I don't think he's in the mindset yet to where he needs to be the champion that he has the ability to be. He just got to get his mind right. He just got to keep maturing, get older, and the front office definitely got to do something for that defense.
I just hate statements like that because it's such a blanket statement, right? Of course, Luka has some offensive help with Kyrie Irving, but let's say if the Mavs didn't make that trade, they probably would have made the playoffs. You want to know why? Because the defense was there. Because the defense was better than it is right now. They got rid of Finney-Smith. My bad. They got rid of Finney-Smith, who was crucial, who was important, a versatile guy. And guess what happened? Now they're losing games because of that. So the whole, he gets Kyrie and can barely make the play. It's just a nasty context, man, and just holds no information of why they're losing. They're losing because of their defense, not because of their offense.
Dub, I'm not laughing by what you said. I'm just laughing at Marz's comment. He said in today's game, he would take Jalen Green over AI in today's game.
Yeah, Marz is a Jalen Green advocate, man. You just gotta let him be. Oh man, hello.
Brian Holiday, AI is overrated. In Denver, he had a good team on both sides of the ball and still had first round exits.
He said, "What? Oh wait, AI is overrated." In Denver, he had a good team on both sides of the ball and still had first round exits. Like I said before, having Allen Iverson and Melo on the court together, even
They
though the
weren't
team,
going that far.
yeah, like it's not. You have two guys who couldn't really complement each other like that. On top of that, like when they're on at the same time, I mean that's just something easy that the teams could just pick apart, especially in the postseason. So it's like,
And in fairness, though, Denver, before they acquired AI, they were never past the first round, if I'm not mistaken.
past the first round, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'll look it up.
But then after they trade AI, get
Yeah, they
Chauncey.
got better the year after they went to the conference finals, lost in 6 to the Lakers.
Yeah, and too. I thought you were going to say that was out of his prime or out of his peak AI. I thought you were talking about peak AI too.
Nah.
I don't really like when people use the AI Denver thing. I mean, AI and Melo. I mean, it was exciting as far as what they can do scoring, but as far as championship, no.
Yeah, and then I mean, bro, I mean they got bounced out by the Spurs and the Lakers. Like, what are we talking about? The Spurs won that year, and the Lakers went to the finals. Like, come on, bro. And then in the West, they won 50 games, and I think they were an 8th seed.
Yes.
Like, what are y'all talking about? You won 50 games and you were an 8th seed. That's crazy. So they were playing well together in the regular season. They got matched up to the team that went to the finals. So, like, what are you guys talking about? And in 09, they didn't. They won 54 games. They won 4 extra games and made it to the Western Conference Finals. Want to know why? Because they didn't face the freaking Lakers in the first round. Then they faced the Lakers and lost. What are we talking about?
It's crazy because now y'all see what would happen if you actually play in a tougher conference, like James Harden did. Get bounced out earlier. Not to discredit it, but put things in perspective.
Facts. So yeah, just basing it off of they got bounced out by the Spurs in the first round, by the Lakers in the first round, and
No
then they
shame
made it.
there.
They made it with Chauncey Billups and made it to the Western Conference. Well, guess what, bro? They didn't face. They won 50 games. Was an 8th seed, bro. Like, oh my god, people.
Narratives.
Narratives run the NBA now. You know how it go. But let's. Oh, you know what? L host. Let me shout out our gold members, King J and Comatose. We appreciate y'all. If y'all want to become gold members, it's just a click away. Go ahead and take care of that. But what I wanted to do is transition actually to the topic of the show right now. I want to talk about the biggest letdowns so far. The season's coming to an end; it's wrapping up, so we kind of got a pretty good idea where everybody's going to end up. Who do you guys feel like let you down the most, or just let down their fan base or the NBA in general? Well, what do you think, PSP?
Believe it or not, Dove, I got to say Miami. I actually thought Miami was going to be like top 3, top 4 in the East, and I don't know where they rank currently. Are they 7th, 8th?
They're in the play-in. They're in the play-in.
They're in the play-in. I actually thought Miami, after coming off the Eastern Conference Finals appearance, they were going to get better. They were still going to be in that conversation. So that's the team I was kind of disappointed the most.
I'm not mad at it. A lot of people were very high on Miami, and I told them, I said, it's not the same team. We lost PJ Tucker. The offense wasn't going to be like that. We did battle. We did battle through some injuries as well. So I expected this, so I wasn't really let down from this. The biggest letdown, I got to think about it. Oh,
it doesn't have to be a team. It could be a coach. It could be a player. It could be front office.
I got it. Probably Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard was a guy. Especially in the beginning of the season, getting a ton of heat, and it seems just like. And Bobby, you remember this? Remember how I was talking about Chris Paul compared to Kawhi Leonard? Everybody hated me for it. The season came around. They seen he was load managing too much. He wasn't going to be healthy. And then the narrative shifted to of Kawhi Leonard his whole entire career. And now saying CP3 is better than him all time is now acceptable. Kawhi Leonard was probably the biggest letdown. A lot of people accept it now. All time, yeah. A lot of people do.
Like who accepts this?
A lot of people, like I've seen it. Like
Has
a lot.
Mo said it? Has Marz said it?
I
Marz,
haven't. I
Marz
do
said
remember
it.
this. I do remember this conversation, Dub. I definitely do. But I'm yet to hear people start shifting to the Chris Paul side of things.
I'm just saying that the liking to Kawhi Leonard, is no longer there. No more.
He's
The
balling.
what?
He's balling, bro. When he played, he's balling. Like I don't know. I mean, every time I see Kawhi, he's getting down.
Nah, you
Kawhi
not
still got it.
you're not hearing me though, bro. The biggest letdown of this season, right? Oh my God. We're not going to act as if in the beginning of the year people weren't crucifying Kawhi, criticizing Kawhi Leonard for doing load management, for doing all of this nonsense. That's what people were doing. He let y'all down because he wasn't healthy. And then the narrative of Kawhi Leonard shifted because of that. Now you had Chilltown, Low and them deciding whether or not if Kawhi Leonard was a top 50 or top 40 player all time. Y'all acting like that's not something that's happened. What are we talking about? You could pull up the panel episodes, bro, and they were literally having conversations about this. Are y'all serious right now?
No, I hear you, but I don't.
That's what it was. So he let down a lot of people because now a lot of people had Kawhi Leonard lift up this high, and they were like, you know what? The health ain't there. Let's bring him down some. What are we talking about?
No, you're not lying. I just don't agree with that notion. But you're not lying.
Right. He wasn't, but I don't think people expected him to be super healthy this year. I think we kind of expected Kawhi to come in load managing. He probably load managed a little more than we expected. But
Dell was so upset. He literally said PG was better than Kawhi Leonard.
You did say that.
He let down a lot of people. Yes, because he was load managing too much. Y'all acted like nobody was criticizing.
That's a fan. That's from a fan standpoint. People do get upset because they want to see some of their best players play. Dale on top of that, Dale might have been pushing his narrative that Paul George was better than Kawhi, so he used that as a reason to say that Chris Paul was better than Kawhi. I don't see it though. Kawhi still got it.
But why would he say Paul George over Kawhi? What, based on load management?
Yeah, he was just upset. He was just upset because my whole point is the biggest letdowns in this season. So that let down a lot of people. Let down Dell. You told me to bring up examples. Let down Dell, let down Chilltown, let down Low, let down the fans, let down everybody. So I'm just answering the question.
So Kawhi's load management was the biggest letdown.
Yes.
It's not his play. It's not his play.
Yes. His health is the biggest letdown.
His health. Okay. I can get behind that. I can 100% get behind that. But I can't.
You a Kawhi stand, bro? God, leave.
I mean, I'm just saying. Like I can get behind the Kawhi health. I can't get behind his game. Especially since he's still balling. On top of that, you tried to slide in that Chris Paul thing, and I don't think anybody said. Maybe Dale said that, but you sliding that Chris Paul in there was crazy, bro.
I think no. Chris Paul's better all the time. The longevity's there. It clears him.
The only thing Chris Paul doesn't have is just the championships, but outside of that, you can make a case.
Yeah, like at the peak, you could probably say Kawhi Leonard's better than CP3, but CP3 for the large portion of his career, being an adequate scorer, being a great playmaker, being a great passer, being a great defender as well. Mid-range game. He did that he was drafted in. What year was he drafted? 05?
Yeah, he was the 4th overall pick.
Yeah, he was drafted in 05, and now it's year 2023. So that's 18 years of playing like this compared to Kawhi Leonard. His prime probably lasted 5, and even then, his prime years has been spent a lot of time being injured.
I mean, hasn't Chris Paul's injuries been extreme letdowns for this team as well?
No, true, 100%. But Kawhi Leonard only has a 5-year prime compared to CP3's 10 to 12-year prime.
And he's still better.
Peak wise, yeah, but not all the time.
Okay. So from 2014, 2019, then
14. That's not Kawhi's.
2014. I'm about to say.
Kawhi might not have been scoring major, but he was still getting busy though. He was still getting down. So
That wasn't hit 12 points.
I'm about to say.
No, that's why I said he wasn't scoring a bunch, but that doesn't mean you're not in your prime. You talking about your peak, like your peak of scoring. I'm talking about your prime as far as your ability and
but
what
didn't
you can
Kawhi
do.
reach that in the 2015-2016 season?
Okay, the next year. Okay, so 15, 14, whatever. We don't got split hairs. From 15 to maybe last season, or when he got hurt was in the playoffs against was it Utah? That was not last season, the season before. So 5 years. 5 years, that's okay. I can say I'll give you that in the argument. 5 years of peak.
Yeah, so like Chris Paul has, I'm about to check it right now, since if you're going to include 2014, I'm including his rookie year all the way to this year, and that's 18.
That's
but
fine.
but I'll go from 08 to 2018. Yeah, that's 10 years. So you got 5 to 10. Yeah. I would include 2020 and 2021, but I won't do it over here. But it's 10 years to 5 or 6. That's crazy. That's a crazy gap.
Okay, 10 to 6. But I'm saying even in those 6 years, Kawhi got more done than Chris Paul. He played. He showed up, and actually four of those seasons were actually better than any 10. Three of those years were better than any 10 Chris Paul came with.
That's why I get you. That's why I can feel with you at a point where maybe Kawhi's best version of himself is better than Chris Paul's. But I mean, the totality of Chris Paul being this high-level playmaker, being this high-level defender, being this adequate scorer as well for 10 plus years, and then I'm not even including 2020 and 2021 when he went to the finals and balled out. I mean, bro, it's just a lot of things is going Chris Paul's way in terms of longevity compared to Kawhi Leonard. That's gotta mean for something.
Okay. So Dub, you say Kawhi Leonard's health is the biggest letdown of the season.
Yes.
Who you got? What you got, Emil?
I was gonna say I got two. Pelicans / Zion. Not because Zion is hurt, simply because he's hurt. I think that's the letdown. But I think people thought they were going to be like at least a top 3 seed in the West, especially going into the season. They were were they the number 1 seed in the West? I can't remember.
At one point they were, yeah.
Oh, they did get the one? Okay.
So they were the number 1 seed in the West when Zion was healthy. He gets hurt, and now they're not even a playoff team. They're in the play-in. So I think that's a letdown. And then I would say the Brooklyn Nets too, simply because every year the Brooklyn Nets have been a competitive playoff team. With KD and Kyrie, they've had a mid-level defense at best. And this is the first year I think we've seen Brooklyn with KD and Kyrie have a top 10 defense that could, translate in the playoffs. So when Kyrie requested a trade, I think that let me down. I'm not going to lie. I want to see what they could do, what they accomplished together with a good defense. So I don't know about y'all, but that's one of my biggest letdowns too.
I'm surprised no one mentioned Atlanta because people were like, how is Trey and DeJounte going to work?
Yeah, that is true.
That's actually an amazing one. I expected Atlanta to play much better than they have been. DeJounte, I think, has been playing well. Trey Young, maybe Trey Young's the biggest letdown now that I think about it. I thought he was going to capitalize on the season what he had before. But right now he's shooting, I think, for the last 3 seasons, this is like his worst shooting split season. So I'm like, yeah, the Hawks is a good pick. I'm not going to lie.
What about Toronto?
I was going to say them too.
I was thinking Toronto. I mean, for me personally, I'm not sure how everybody else saw Toronto, but I thought they were going to be, competing with the Cavs for that 4th seed this year. Maybe even competing with Philly for the 3rd. That's where I saw them this year. And so to see that they're in the play-in right now or fighting for play-in, what are they? The 9th seed? Are they 9th over there? Yeah, they're the 9th seed in the East. That's wild to me.
But I think with the Pelicans, with Zion, it depends how bad Zion wants it. Because when healthy, when he's on the court, he's a monster. Like 26, 7, and 4, second All-Star appearance. But he's going to have to get down to 250 because he can't play at that NBA weight at 280 and 290 and thinking he's going to have a long NBA career.
Yo, them po' boys and gumbo.
What
Can't
about
get
the
away from that.
Yeah.
That's where I was going. That's my team right there that I was going to choose, because if we remember, the preseason power rankings had the Warriors #1, which I'm pretty sure it's because they just came off the championship. But y'all got to remember, they're one game out the play-in. So how do you go from a #1 overall power ranking to fighting to stay out of the play-in?
I agree with that one. The only reason I didn't say them was because right now, as it stands, they're in the playoffs. But
Yeah.
if they finish in the play-in, I think we could definitely add them to the list, because that is crazy, going from defending champions to a play-in team.
Yeah, I mean they're one game out of the 7 spot. So if
Nobody's gonna bring up the Pelicans.
PSP was talking about
I was talking about Zion, but I mean, look, the Pelicans last year they made the playoffs without Zion, and they did make it competitive against the Phoenix Suns in 6. I just think with Zion, man, and I hate to say this, should they trade him?
Yes.
For what? Who's going to trade for him?
Well,
Nobody wants him like that either. Nah, I'm not gonna hold you.
I mean, they can trade him, but they're not going to get, what they think they're going to get back for him. I don't think so.
They should trade him, but
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, every team's gonna look at it. Listen, Zion, when did he get drafted again? Was it 2018? 2019, right? So this is his 4th year, right? 4th year. And in 4 years, at a young age at that, he's only had one semi-healthy season. I mean, teams are going to look at that like, bro, what the hell am I going to do with that? The older you get, the more you're at risk of getting hurt. And you're getting hurt right now in the beginning of your 4 years. You have a weight issue. It's bad on your knees. It's like, bro, Joel Embiid, people probably bring up, well, Joel Embiid made it work. Joel Embiid's a little bit different because I don't think Joel Embiid had that much of a weight issue as Zion Williamson has.
Right.
So now it's like, I don't know, man. I mean, Zion, bro, he gotta. I'm with the Zion. I like the Zion pick. That could be the biggest letdown.
I think he has tremendous talent and upside when healthy. But again, it's up to him. It's up to him whether or not he wants with his career. I just think, man, it's always going to go back to him or Josh. Should have been Ja with the #1 pick or Zion with the #1 overall pick. The Pelicans, of course, you don't want to lose him for nothing, because imagine him going somewhere else and you're like, damn, what did we do wrong? So
Right.
I just hope with Zion, man, I'm like, shut him down for the rest of the season, get him focused for next season, making sure that he's close to healthy as possible. And with New Orleans, they got some really nice pieces. I love what Brandon Ingram is doing. I love Valanciunas, CJ McCollum. Willie Green is a nice young coach. Alvarado, I mean, he reminds me a lot of ways like Patrick Beverly. New Orleans has a bright future. Their future would be even brighter with a healthy Zion.
Right. If so the Pelicans are half a game out of the 6. If you're the Pelicans organization and you feel like Zion is at 85, close to 85%, and the Pelicans get into that 6 seed, do you not make a push? Like, I mean, the West is wide open. I find it hard if I'm up there, and I know it's a risk, but I mean, if the medical staff says he's close to 85, if he feels like he's close to 85, I see myself putting him on the floor. Like, for me, you might as well. You get the 6 seed. They're matched up with us at the 6 seed, matched with the Kings. I feel like if I'm the Pelicans organization, I'm looking at it like, yo, we can pop the King. We can beat the Kings. We got Zion.
I hear your point, but I mean, that has to be a decision that would have to be made with Zion and the staff together. So if Zion's up for it, I mean, if Zion's up for it to take that risk, I'm a believer in free will.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. I mean, do what you want to do. Even though I don't agree with it a bit, you know what? If you feel as if you're right and okay, 85 to 90% healthy, go ahead. But in my opinion, I wouldn't push for that. If he's ready and we're come to a conclusion that he's going to be he's good enough to play, then okay, I'm here for it. But I think they gotta make that decision. And a lot of people, I need people to understand this about Joel Embiid and Zion Williamson. Joel Embiid played 60 games in his second year, 60 games in his third year, and 50 games in his fourth year. Zion Williamson only had one season playing 60 games.
He averages 30 games per season. It's not even the same. It's not
the same. It's not even the same at all.
They're different skill sets. Zion is more
bully
the
ball,
basket, bully ball.
Sure.
But Joel Embiid. I'm sorry, Bob. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say that it's crazy how narratives really work. Because in my mind, when you said that, Dub, I was like, what? Like Joel played 60 games second and third season? Because even the way I remember it, and then just the narrative, the talking points on it, if you ask me, I'm like, nah, Joel didn't even play his first and second season.
I just think Doc Rivers has been a huge part in Joel Embiid's career, because ever since Doc Rivers has been there, he's getting Joel Embiid to play more within the post, and he's been doing exactly what Shaq and Chuck have been telling him to do: get your ass in the post and get to the free throw line. And it's great for Embiid because he's a great free throw shooter at his size. Like, he's 86% from the foul line. So he's just doing exactly what he's doing. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I do think it's a little bit of Doc Rivers, but I think that has more to do with Ben Simmons, not him playing with James Harden versus him playing with Ben Simmons. When you're playing with Ben Simmons, your post touches are going to be limited because Ben Simmons is basically another center when he doesn't have the ball. So I do think that kind of has to do with the trade. But I don't want to give Doc Rivers, I don't want to discredit Doc Rivers because he has put them in a decent position this season. So I want to say that.
Yeah.
You think I do have over?
You said what?
Simmons.
And I was going to ask, is Ben Simmons up there for a letdown too? Speaking of that, but yeah,
I had zero faith in Ben Simmons after I seen how he was reacting to everything in Philly. When I seen how he reacted to that, just by getting called out for not playing well, and he just kind of, went off the deep end, I was kind of, from that point on, I had no expectations for Ben Simmons. So I wouldn't consider him a letdown.
I agree. When I seen him talk on JJ Redick's podcast, he was like, people discrediting me or talking shit about me, but they don't know that I guard the best player on the opposing team. It's like, well, Ben Simmons, you're the number one overall pick. That's why we have expectations for you.
Right.
When he said that, I was like, yeah, he lost me with that one.
Yeah, mental toughness.
Yo, my bad, Bobby. I made a mistake. No, I made a mistake. He didn't play his first two seasons. Okay. But then after that, he logged in 30, 60, 60, and then 50.
So it's 30. So it was didn't play 30.
It's didn't play 30, 60, 60.
Okay, cool. Okay.
You said what?
Didn't he break his foot those first, or something happened?
His foot. Yeah, his foot was messed up in his first beginning seasons.
Yeah, okay, for sure.
But even then, I think that was more. That's more acceptable than what Zion's going through right now, because that was just one issue.
Right.
Zion Williamson, he just keeps getting hurt.
And I think that was Philly taking.
So just so that we clear though, y'all. So Zion has played more games than Joel in his first three seasons.
First three seasons, yeah.
Okay, cool.
But the difference between Zion and Joel is that Zion had a serious foot issue, while Joel had a serious foot issue, while Zion is just, he gets hurt, then gets a different injury, gets hurt again, and then it's just bad for him, bro. It's bad for him.
And I think Philly shut down Embiid also because they weren't going to be that competitive. So there was no need to play Embiid if they were still going to be tanking. With Zion, they're competitive and he's not playing.
Right. So and that's what I'm saying. That's why I said what I said like that. Like, but they spending so much money on the kid. I mean, if he tweaks something else in the second round, like, so be it. You got a whole off season. You know what I'm saying? We'll figure something out. I'm 100% like Zion. If you can play, like, I'm not gonna play you if you got any pain. If you're not passing these tests from the physical therapist and the training staff and whatnot. But if you're passing all that, Get your ass in the jersey and let's go. Like you get one shot at the crown, and sometimes you got to take it. And right now is the perfect time because the West is wide open. And me being the Kings fan, y'all know I am. A healthy Pelicans team, they for sure could get us. They for sure could get us in that first round.
I believe with Ben Simmons, two things could be true. I believe he's dealing with something mentally, but for him to average 6.9 points, 6.3 rebounds, 6.1 assists, it's just inexcusable.
He's just not that guy, man.
And I thought in Brooklyn it was supposed to be a rejuvenation for him with KD and Kyrie, and people like we're not worried about his jump shot. We don't need to be worried about him shooting. I'm like, at some point in time, man, you got to develop. You got to work on your game. You got to get better. No one is asking Ben Simmons to score 25, 30. No one is expecting him to do that. But can you at least give me 16 to 18 a game? Can you at least work on your free throw shooting? Because right now you're shooting a career worst. Was it 43.9% from the free throw line? And you're making $35.5 million this season. And if you replicate another season like you had this season, it's over.
Yo, PSP, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care $30 million a year or not. I wouldn't care if this was my junior high school team. Well, you wide open, right? Shoot the ball.
He's scared. Man. He literally doesn't want to shoot a basket because he knows that someone's going to foul him. They're going to put him at the free throw line, and we know he's going to miss his free throws. And you can't play him in the fourth quarter.
And then, like, to add on to that fact, because I see people talking about, well, he had back surgery and he had knee surgery. I mean, listen to Jimmy Butler talk about Ben Simmons. Listen to the reports coming out about Ben Simmons getting drafted. Listen to, Kevin Durant and all of them talk about Ben Simmons. It's not like we're making anything up. Like, yeah, he's probably going to be a little bit rusty coming off back surgery, but it's the will and the want to. We don't see that from Ben Simmons. You can be rusty. There's a difference between being rusty and being scared. Ben Simmons is out there terrified to shoot the ball. That's not rust. It's just a want to thing, like y'all said.
I mean, look, Doc said it best. He was asked this question after the Atlanta series. Do you think you can win a championship with Ben Simmons as your point guard? I don't know the answer to that question. And Joel Embiid, the turning point in that game was when we had an open shot, but we passed it up and we only made 1 or 2 free throws. Ben Simmons, I just think, I don't know what's going to happen to him. Right now, he has the worst contract in the NBA.
I don't know about that.
Wait, whose contract is worse than Ben Simmons?
How much does he get paid?
He's making $35.5 million this season.
35.
Yo, Dub, remember on Clubhouse, Dub, when they was trying to tell us that Jimmy Butler had the worst contract in
lies, yeah.
I thought it was John Wall.
The lies. John Wall. Russ, I think Russ's contract is still really bad. Well, it was. It's not there no more, but it was really bad.
Yeah, that might have been the worst one. I agree.
Duncan Robinson?
No, I think Ben's is even worse. It's so much more money. Now, this is actually I was gonna get to my the team I wanted to talk about who might be a bigger disappointment as well, and this kind of goes into it. What about Portland? Because a lot of people before the season had Portland in that top 6. They were talking about Portland in that top 6. Now they're at the 13th seed in the West, and then they extended Dame with all that money. They can't pay for any more help. They're giving him everything they got. So
Dame got to leave.
But could that be the worst contract in the NBA right now?
No, because he actually produces.
He does produce, but now I understand that. I'm just saying, could it be Dame's contract just because the way he does produce gets them so not, I wouldn't say so close because they're so far away, but I mean they need somebody.
It's different.
So all that producing is kind of like you know how when you got the donkey and the carrot in front and the carrot's right there. Like with Ben Simmons, you don't even got a carrot because it's just like he's not gonna do shit. But like with Dame, you at least got to carry it because it's like, yo, Dame's going crazy, but we can't do nothing to help him.
Yeah, Dame is different because, like I said, he's performing at a high level. He's doing what he has to do, so he's earning that contract. Ben Simmons, at the same time of wasting that money, he's not doing anything to earn that money. So it's just a different scenario, and it's 42 mil a year. So it's like you got Paul George. I mean, Paul George makes 42 mil a year as well. So it's like that's.
Shit.
So yeah, I mean, Bradley Beal's on 43 mil a year. Maybe Bradley Beal will be a better one than Damian Lillard, but. John Wall, damn. John Wall was at 40 mil for Houston, which is crazy. I'm checking it right now. But again, this is before like they got all of that decided, but that's crazy.
I agree with Dub. I don't think necessarily it's a bad contract. I do think Bob, he is doing Portland a disservice because as long as they keep Dame, they can't rebuild. They can't go into a rebuild because obviously Dame is there. So the longer he sits there, the less time he's going to have to compete, and the less time Portland is going to have to rebuild. So I think he's doing the disservice by staying there. Like, just leave.
I think he has to leave because Portland wants to move on. They want to go into a different direction as far as with their organization. But where would you like to see Dame play?
Miami.
Miami's the spot. I think Miami's the spot.
Or the
nobody's gonna want to play him and Jimmy together.
Two scenarios. I think it should be. I think the Bucks should try their They should have done this in 2021, but screw it.
Yes.
They should try their absolute best to get Dame in the offseason. You're not gonna win this year, or even if you do win, blow that shit up. Get Damian Lillard.
Even if
pair
you
him
do
up with
win,
Giannis.
though?
Yes. Even if they do win, go get Damian Lillard. Miami, go try and get Damian Lillard.
But Doug, I think when you talked about that before with Milwaukee, you were saying that you would like that, but they need to keep Drew, right?
Keep Drew, get rid of Chris.
So how do you do that? How do you keep Drew?
That's why agents are a thing, and I'm not an agent.
Okay, for sure.
What are you gonna do, Dub? You're gonna have to convince Drew to take a pay cut or something?
What you mean, Drew to take a pay cut? Chris Middleton makes 37 mil a year compared to Dame's 42. So you gotta find $5 million somewhere. It's not that crazy.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's a scary duo. Dame and
if they can keep Drew and get Dame and still have Bobby too.
I mean,
wait, who else are they keeping? Brooke? Are they keeping Brooke too? Did you say
they might have to let Brooke walk?
Because Brooke is a free agent, right?
Yes, he is. So they might have to let him walk unless he's willing to take a pay cut. But after a year he's having, I'm pretty sure he's gonna look to cash in. He's definitely
like where, like in Dallas,
anywhere. He's probably. I'm getting older. He got a ring already, so he's like, man, let me go break some bread. He's probably going to take the biggest offer that he's going to get. So I don't think he's going to be willing to take a
great landing spot, bro.
Which team do you see Victor Wembanyama going to? Because I think it's probably going to be Spurs.
Spurs is like, that's everyone wants that to happen. Whoever gets the first pick. I don't know who's going to get the first pick.
I hope it's Indiana.
Yeah.
I hope it's Indiana. I want to see him in Indiana.
Jesus,
I want to see him on Orlando. That's what I want to see him with Paolo.
I want Orlando to get Scoot.
Scoot would be good. Scoot would be good for him.
You get Tyrese, Victor, bro.
Yeah,
I got the Pacers making the second round next year.
Yes, because Ben, I mean, you got to think about that. Tyrese is still getting better. The young boy Ben, he's getting better. You get, and because if I think if they get Vic, then they finally do make that trade with that package with Buddy and Miles Turner. So,
hey,
they're gonna do something.
I don't know why people be like, yeah, where do you think where's Victor gonna go? It's like, bro, you have the Spurs. Who's tied? It's the Spurs, the Magic,
Detroit, Spurs, and Houston, I think.
Detroit, Spurs, and Houston. It's like they all have the same odds. I don't know who's gonna get the pick. Like,
I wouldn't mind Victor to Detroit. I would like to see Cade and Victor, that combination though.
Wait. So the Houston got their Does Houston also have the Nets pick?
Yeah. Well, no,
they might.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They do.
I think they might. I think they do. Yeah.
They have like 3 day picks.
Mets is always folding with the picks, man. God,
They got to do something in that front office, bro.
they don't care
They
about.
won one
I mean,
trade, bro. They won that Kyrie trade. Well, I wouldn't say one, but
Do you think that it was still crazy? Because even though Mikal Bridges, I mean, is progressing like this, do y'all think it was still wild that they didn't accept the 3 or 4 first round picks?
Kind of.
There was a
from
rumor.
but who was that to again?
I forget who, because I don't think they gave the team's name out, but I do know that there was an agent that said that this was in the talks, but the Nets wasn't interested.
I forgot what
it's like 3 or 4 first round picks, bro.
What team was it?
They did. They said they did. Hey, chat. If y'all remember who that was, chat. Drop that in the chat for us.
They definitely released the team name. I forgot what team.
They did.
Bro, that is insane.
Was it the Raptors?
I think it was the Raptors.
Oh,
no,
it
was Memphis. That's right.
Yeah,
Memphis. Good looking, D. George. Definitely was Memphis.
Like, bro,
that's crazy.
Bro,
hey, for both teams though, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Bro, I mean, Memphis is trying to go all in, but that for Mikal Bridges is wild.
The Nets were supposed to do that though. The Nets were supposed to do that for sure.
It's terrible. They're a terrible front office. Terrible.
What was the player that they were supposed to get to, or who were the Memphis Grizzlies giving up with the picks?
Probably Dylan Brooks. I don't remember. I just know.
I don't know. I mean, y'all sleep on Dylan Brooks though. Dylan Brooks ain't.
No, it's not because he's trash. It's if you giving up Dylan Brooks and some picks for Kevin Durant, that's all you had.
No, it wasn't for KD. It was from Mikal Bridges.
Oh, Mikal Bridges.
It was from Mikal Bridges.
Even then, it's aid for the Nets not to take that.
Yeah, that's still crazy.
Like that just goes to show everything you need. That goes to show you everything you need to know about the Brooklyn Nets organization. Like, I'm serious. That's the wildest thing. That's the wildest thing to me, bro. Y'all really let that opportunity pass up.
I'm about to, because at that point it's like, yo, Mikal, don't even touch down to Brooklyn, bro. Just head straight to Memphis.
But that's on the Nets. They made that mess. They made that bed. They gotta lay in it.
And then on top of that, Dub, that would make more sense. And then you trade Kyrie from. I don't get why they traded Kyrie for Dorian Finney-Smith. It's like those are like players you pair up with like a superstar. Now, granted, Mikal Bridges is tough, but that's like who you pair up with a win now player.
So I get it. I get it where, it's a money thing too in business. So you got Kyrie. That way you could stay competitive. I mean, you got rid of Kyrie. That way you got players where you guys could stay competitive, right? I think they offered the Lakers something, but the Lakers didn't take it. I mean, they were waiting for the Lakers to give like Austin Reeves and some picks, but that deal didn't happen. So the Nets went with Dallas Mavericks. So if we talking about staying competitive now, that way, the fans still have something to cheer on. The fans still have something to go to the games for, to keep revenue up. That's not a bad trade. And then you get rid of KD, get the draft picks. But damn, bro. Get rid of Mikal for the first round picks. What's wrong with you guys, bro? Like, it's insane. It's just insane to me, bro. Terrible organization. They're terrible. Organization.
So did they dropped the ball with that? But I wanted who brought that up? It was a couple maybe a week or so ago. The Raptors not trading for Kevin Durant. Was that a bad move for them? I mean, seeing now that they're in the 9th seed.
They didn't even join the talks.
They weren't trying.
I know
to
they turned it down.
Scotty Barnes. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's an L for them. They should have got rid of Scotty.
I agree, but do you think with that move does that make the Raptors better than the Bucks or the Celtics? I'm not saying it doesn't.
Nah, it's not good for KD, but I mean, for the Raptors, it's good for the Raptors, but it's not good for KD though. The Suns was probably the best landing spot.
I agree.
What's next, Bobby? Well, we had a couple of start bench cuts that we wanted to go over. and it was actually by franchise. So we're gonna do a start bench cut. I'm gonna ask each of you. We got the Celtics, the Celtics, the Lakers, and who's the other one? So for the Celtics, it's going to be Tatum, Bird, and Pierce. It's 3-on-3. It's 3-on-3.
Okay.
So it's Tatum, Bird, and Pierce versus Magic, Kobe, Bron, obviously, versus Jordan, Rose, and DeMar. Who are the start bench cuts?
I don't think we have to answer this, bro.
It's Lakers
Easily.
obviously. So you go Lakers and you bench Boston.
I would. You gotta have to bench Boston because even though MJ's great, I mean, you got Tatum, Bird, and who was the other guy?
Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pierce.
You have 3 legit scorers for the Celtics.
Yeah. So
Put
and then the
KG
Lakers,
in.
bro. You got Magic and Kobe with freaking LeBron. Like
Yeah.
that's overkill, bro. They're killing them.
Wait, who was
Okay,
the last one?
It was Jordan. It was Jordan, D Rose, and DeMar. And before we get to the next one, Doug.
Wait. Jordan, Rose, and DeMar.
DeMar? Okay.
You didn't even mention
You
Pippen
didn't
or
say
Rodman.
Scotty?
They were just quick in the inbox earlier this morning. So I figured I would just throw it out there the way I got it sent to me. If I could, if it was mine. You know it wasn't mine, Dub. If it was mine, I would have had Pippen in there. But I was just
Facts.
I let a couple people.
Who created that?
DeMar.
It was a friend of my brother's just hit me on the gram like, hey, can you ask this? And I'm like, all right, but like I would rather have Pippen in there, but hey, everybody's not a Pippen fan like me.
You know what's so funny? I didn't even listen to you say DeMar because I assumed it was Scotty.
Yeah.
You want to go into some super chats?
Shit, that's what I'm doing right now. Go ahead, you got a PSP.
NPR, 2 defensive player of the years, 2 chips, 2 finals MVPs for Kawhi, CP3, nothing.
Dang, bro. That must have been nice looking that up at Basketball Reference.
Hey, y'all stay off of Basketball Reference. It's bad for you. Speaking of Basketball Reference, before we get into anything else, Doug, could you see the reflection of the Basketball Reference in those glasses?
Bro, Tyson was the one that brought it to my attention. And then I'm looking at the glasses. I'm like, I see the orange. I was like, I see the orange. I'm like, no way Lowe's doing this. Lowe, that is crazy, bro. I don't even think Marz even had that thing open, bro. We was all off the dome. You over here drinking teas and shit. And then you over here looking at Basketball Reference while all of us just chilling there. That's crazy, Lowe. That is crazy.
I mean, what do you expect? He owns a Basketball Reference shirt.
No way. Hey, but Emil PSP, y'all was watching that yesterday?
For sure.
When you were watching, could you see the reflection in his bifocus?
I'm not gonna lie, I was not paying attention that much, but I would definitely go back and find that.
Man, cheaters cheat.
By the way, did anyone check out Marz's TikTok video about Basketball Reference between Bird and Steph Curry?
I'm glad.
No, could you inform us? Could you run that down to us? What happened?
I don't remember exactly. I wish Marz was here to explain it, but he just gets tired of like people using the Basketball Reference for like Larry Bird as a better basketball player than Steph Curry rather than just the eye test. Like, what is it about Larry Bird that's better than Steph Curry? But is it better shooter, better rebounder, defender, passer, etc., etc.?
Nah, Larry Bird won. Larry Bird was Finals MVP, bro. More times than Curry. That's it. That's all we need to go off of. It is what it is. It is what it is, man. Finals MVP, more MVPs. Hey, man, that's enough for me.
Nah, it's basically like people can like. It's not even the fact that people have like better arguments. It's simply people just look up stuff on Basketball Reference without even turning on the basketball game. That's his point.
Exactly.
Like, if we're gonna argue something, at least argue what we both seen. At least so we can at least know that both of us watched it. We're just gonna argue about MVPs, DPOYs, like anybody can do that.
Emil, that's what I mean. That's what I mean when I say L basketball. I don't mean like death to stats. You know what I'm saying? Like we need stats. I'm here for the stats, but we can't base everything we know about basketball on analytics, stats, and just don't shoot long twos. It's a bad shot. Like I just can't. You know, I just can't get behind that thought process when it comes to basketball.
Yeah, I agree with Marz though with everything he said in that statement. I found myself arguing with somebody about Magic Johnson and his clutch gene, and as I'm arguing with him, we was on TikTok live together. He kept going. One of the points that he said was, "Bro, the man went to 9 finals. You tell me that there's no clutch moments he's had on those roads in the playoffs to go to those 9 finals?" So he was like, "That's crazy." So then I told him, I said, "Oh, well, you're just telling me you just ain't watched the shit just because he went to 9 finals. You're not telling me any moments that happened. You're saying just because he went to 9 finals, he had clutch moments. So you're just gonna put him in your top 10 clutch list. No, that doesn't make any sense, bro." I said, you said you didn't watch anything. There's nothing that you could tell me that proved to me that Magic was a clutch player. You're just harping on the fact he went to 9 finals. That's it. I said, that's it. You just proved my point. And I just hate it when people do that, bro. Like, just go watch. Like, YouTube's free, bro. Like, you could watch a bunch of these games easily, bro. Go pay for a membership on NBA League TV or whatever. Like, it's so easy. Like,
but that's the problem. They just don't want to do it. They just go by Basketball Reference and they just go by the list of accolades rather than actually taking the time to just watch highlights. Even though I disagree sometimes with Lowe, I don't agree with his assessment on Stockton, but at least he's just willing to put in the work to look at the actual videos of Stockton.
And for everybody to chat, it was Magic Johnson as a top 10 clutch player. That's what was the is Paul Pierce more clutch than Magic Johnson?
I don't think it's disrespectful to say that that's a fact.
Okay, thank you. I thought so too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is, but Magic Johnson's still a better player, so you know. So when you say things like that, people will take it the wrong way. Like what? Like, yeah, I mean, when it's like De'Aaron Fox, he's the best clutch player in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Does that make him the best point guard in the NBA? To me, yes, but you know, whatever. Hey, that's neither here nor there. We don't got to get into that. But let's run down a couple of these super chats though. MC Robinson tapped in and said, "Who you got in the women's NCAA basketball tournament championship between Iowa and LSU?" I got Iowa. Caitlin Clark, that girl is a baller.
We was just talking about this too.
Yeah. Were.
I mean, LSU.
Who y'all got?
LSU, but Caitlin Clark, she a baller, but she gonna have to probably score another 41 or 50 in order for them to beat LSU, though.
Like I was saying before, they're not going to be able to do, or hopefully they shouldn't be able to do the same thing they did against South Carolina. So we're going to see.
What about you, Doug?
I'm not going to lie. I don't watch NCAA women's basketball. I'm sorry.
Hey, that's really some of the best basketball. Y'all got to start checking out the the women's game. I got LSU. Just to, keep it short and sweet. I got LSU for sure. I would be frustrated trying to play Caitlin Clark one-on-one even back in my basketball days. I wouldn't want that, but I still got LSU.
She different, Dub. You gotta turn on the national championship game. Just turn on like 2 minutes of her, please. She's different, bro.
Yo, Dub, before I get to the second super chat, what's wrong with women's basketball?
I get distracted.
Oh, okay.
We'll distracted.
We'll move on.
Fair enough.
Hey, but you know what? This is since we're here, we don't got to harp on this all day. But I just wanted to ask y'all a question. I asked my brother this, and you know what? Since we got the champ himself here, never mind. Okay, we do got the champ. Okay, Marz.
Yeah. Hold on. Dun 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 dun
Dun, 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 dun.
dun 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 dun. Marz, have you seen Rocky?
Please say yes, Marz.
Oh, yes.
Have you seen all of them?
No.
Okay.
Do you remember which Rocky movie you've last seen?
He fought some white Russian guy.
No.
Rocky 4, great movie. Was that the only one you watched?
No, he fought. I seen the first one. Then I saw him fight some white Russian guy, and those are the only ones I remember.
You gotta watch Rocky 3. Great movie.
Hey, but real quick, I want y'all opinion on something. Now, you would have to change it earlier, like, from just for all girls and women's. But do y'all think the women's game would be a little more exciting if the rims were 9.5 feet instead of 10 feet?
So that they could dunk?
It'll probably be more exciting, but you gotta remember these women have been practicing every day on 10-foot hoops, and
Right. No, that's why I said you'd have to change it from the bottom up. Like you like, so the girls that are playing right now, it will be kind of like, like, damn, like now we got to change the shot. But I mean,
maybe like once you get past like a whole generation. So like if you saw from now, everyone started on 9.5, and then from so a whole generation, let's say 20-25 years from now, you only have people who have played on 9.5-foot hoops. Yeah, it'd probably make the game look better. But the way the women's game is evolving, like now on 10 feet, we're starting to see more athletic women. We're starting to see the skill gap improve. Like the way I view it is when the WNBA started, from what I saw, that's basically what the old NBA was like. You're at the infancy stages of women's basketball, the same way we was at the infancy stages of men's basketball. And now we're starting to get to like, we're seeing the talent really start to improve. Like with Caitlin Clark, we're seeing a lot of these female athletes in high school. They're able to dunk. Their handles improving. They're a lot more skilled. So I think if you keep it at 10, we're just going to start seeing women just get to a higher level just as time goes on, simply because of evolution.
Yeah, I mean, I've always liked women's basketball. My mom, she hoop. My sister, she hoop. Everybody, we all hoop. So I love women's basketball the way it is. I was just thinking about for people that don't really care much for it, if that would make them watch it a little more. But I agree, Marz, because that's what I was actually talking to my brother about the other day. He was just like, "Nah, I mean, the WNBA is not going to be anything." I'm like, you got to remember, this is year 25. So think about what the NBA was at year 25.
That was 1972 was year 25 of the NBA. And anyone want to go back and watch some 1972 basketball, you won't be drastically impressed. So, that's it.
Yeah, that's
I don't think it's the worst idea lowering it, but like everybody said, I mean, they've been practicing on hoops for the longest time, or rims for the longest time. And to be honest, I don't think women would want that.
Right. Would they look at that as disrespectful? We're trying to disrespect them.
And yes. I hear the argument that, like, you have to.
It's a pride thing. It's a pride thing, man. Oh, you making us lower the rim, so you try to help us up? No, I don't want you to do that. I was like,
but in turn, though, if lowering the rim is going to help y'all get engagement, that's going to help y'all get money. So I don't see why. If that's what's going to help, but if that's not going to help, then I don't see why lowering the rim should even be discussed.
And I also saw where in the new CBA deal, and tell me if y'all know if this is right, if this is true or false, but did they say that they're going to start allowing NBA players to invest in the WNBA franchises now?
I believe so. I think I read that. Actually.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Seems like to me, a lot of these athletes nowadays are becoming owners, like Tom Brady, minority owner, the Las Vegas Aces. So,
yeah, man, the players have gotten smarter, man. Players have gotten smarter. They've learned from the past. They're looking more into finances and how to manage their money. Of course, we have every now and then some athletes that haven't figured that out, but I think the world and the generation that's present here today has done a good job of teaching the young guys how to invest, how to handle their money responsibly, so that we're not having a lot of instances where, people waste their money and then go broke after 4 or 5 years out the league.
Gotta stay at that strip club.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gotta stay at that strip club.
Only twice a month.
It's about damn time tapped in. Dub and Bob, what's up, my guys? Start, bench, cut these players: Shai Gilgeous, John Morant, Anthony Edwards. Stay safe and stay blessed up. Dub, how you doing it?
You stay blessed, man. Like I said, I think Shai and Ja is very close to each other, but mainly because of what I've seen in the postseason with Ja, I'm gonna give him the slight edge. So I'm gonna have Ja, Shai, and then Edwards. But
Edwards.
I would have to cut Edwards, but I think Edwards has great potential to be better than all of those guys.
Go ahead,
You
Marz.
got Marz?
But haven't you seen Ant in the playoffs compared to Shai? And like he played very well against the Memphis Grizzlies last year.
Yeah, but Ja played phenomenal. Like,
Yeah, but I'm not saying put Anthony Edwards over Ja. I'm saying Anthony Edwards over Shai just because you've seen him in the playoffs play at a high level.
nah, I just think that Ja Morant and the level in which he played to was just it was at such a high level. I just find it hard for Shai to replicate that. While Anthony Edwards, I think Shai could replicate that.
Oh, okay. I get you. I'd start Shai, bench, Ja, cut Ant. That's what I would do.
What about you, PSP?
Right now, I start Shai.
Start
Yeah, I
Shai.
agree with Marz. Bench, Ja, cut Ant. I mean, even though Ant, his upside is there, and we saw what he did in the postseason last year, but I just like what I'm seeing from Shai. I mean, he's got my most improved player of the year award as far as I'm concerned.
What about you, PSP? I mean, not PSP. I'm sorry. What about you, Emil?
It's a toss up between Shai and John. I really want to see what Shai can do on a competitive team, but for right now, I'll go start Ja, bench Shai, cut Anthony Edwards.
Are all of these guys better than James Harden?
Right now, yeah.
No.
Today, yeah.
Who's James Harden better than?
Anthony Edwards is not better than James Harden.
Yeah, Anthony
Okay.
Edwards.
I was just asking. I figured it was hit that one, but I was just asking.
James
Well,
Harden would still
I
give
don't
you
know.
20 and 10.
I'm thinking I might mess around and start in.
Oh, based on upside, or he's the best player right now?
Well, so this doesn't say starting a franchise. So if we were to say right now, damn, Ant is cold though.
I think Ant has amazing potential, but
Damn.
I just think Ja right now and Shai right now are just better than
I
him.
just need to see Ant evolve more as a playmaker and passer. He still looks pretty uncomfortable in that aspect compared to those two. But I do think defensively, I think he's the best of those guys. Though.
Yeah. I think he just needs to get out of Minnesota, man.
I think it's gonna help that he got Mike Conley there now. I think Mike Conley being there, I think he could. If Mike Conley is that type of vet, I think Ant can learn a lot. Figure out different ways to see the game. And that's where it starts. Is actually seeing different things that you typically weren't seeing.
I think
before.
Ant has the most potential because of versatility, offensively, defensively. But to Mar's point, he has to improve as a playmaker and as a passer.
Okay. Can he do that?
How you doing, Marz? Everything good, bro?
I'm fantastic. I'm fantastic.
What made you pull up? You see me? You wanted to join?
Nah, I heard you guys talking about these basketball reference merchants and how Low can't live without basketball reference. I was like, yeah, let me.
Oh,
that was so.
man.
Yeah, Marz. I would like to
Let's
say,
talk about it.
Marz. I would like to say, I think me, you, and Cho had the best performances on there.
I agree. I think Chilltown got robbed by the 3 in a row rule that got made up on the spot because
He definitely did.
We needed the extra content. Chill was going to end the show in an hour, so they made up a rule. I think you made some good arguments. I don't like that the chat just went against you instantly when you said Jokic and Hakeem. I don't like that. I think that was a very solid answer, but the chat just seemed to not like it. And
that
then
was a fire answer, though.
I agree. And then obviously I got robbed, but still won. So
I would love to see Marz and Chill at the end.
Yeah, I would have enjoyed going against Chill because I feel like Chill was making some good arguments. Him winning Scottie Pippen versus Kobe as a number 2 was interesting to me. So I was like, yeah. I would have loved to have that debate, but
that was kind of wild. I forgot about that one.
But to Bobby before you went on, like with Fluent, I agree with everything he said about Malone, except Malone a better rebounder than Barkley. That was the only argument I disagreed with in that point.
Yeah. That was clearly a robbery. I got Fluent on that one. But...
Oh, and I forgot to say the ticket too. Ticket was
that LeBron James most overhyped career was the funniest argument I ever heard.
bro, and
I
it was
but I
so
wasn't
great.
surprised though.
It was
I
so.
wasn't surprised.
And Marz, you know what's so? I knew you felt like Ticket won that too, because he was like, no way that he's doing this so perfectly right now. Even though like you disagree, it's
It
like
was such a rehearsed argument that he planned that so many times. You could tell.
But no one was surprised though once he brought up LeBron. I mean,
That
it
was crazy.
nah, that was the
Dub,
first argument.
Dub, did you choke right there for a moment? Had to regain your composure?
No, so what happened?
No, you choked though. That was crazy. I don't know.
No. So what happened was for the perimeter defense versus roaming defense, in my mind, because me and Marz always have this conversation. I'm like, I said in my head, I'm like, I know that no matter what I say, I'm not gonna win the perimeter defense argument. I'm like, I know how to argue the roaming argument, but if I argue the roaming argument, what's gonna happen? The chat's gonna be mad at me for switching up. So now it's like I got stuck because I was like, I could go with what the chat's gonna vote for, but even if I go with what the chat's gonna vote for, I was gonna lose because I switched up. So I was just like, I would have just gave it to Marz right there because I'm like, no matter what I say, I'm gonna lose this.
That's
So
what
no matter
choking
what.
is, Dub. You had a wide open three. Your team was down by 3. And you decided to go drive for a layup. That's what happened. You
His
just
palms are
folded.
sweaty, knees
Folded.
weak, arms
You
are
can say
heavy.
you can say I folded that. I gave that
100%.
one up. I gave it up. There's a difference between folding and just giving up. I gave up. I said, Marz, here you go.
So wait, were you
Take it.
Bron in 2011, Kobe in 2004,
Kobe in 2000
or James Harden?
Kobe in 2004. I was Kobe in 2004. I literally no, I was Kobe in 07. I was just sitting here like, okay, let's have go ahead, Marz.
Oh, so you knew it was over before it even started.
I knew it was over. I
okay.
knew it was over before it even started, bro. I was like, I'm not gonna win this at all. I know what the chat's gonna vote for. I know what they want. I can't say that because I would look like a hypocrite. So I was like,
I mean, I argued for Carmelo's rookie year over LeBron.
I didn't.
Carmelo was better though.
Do you think LeBron was better?
I don't. I think it can go either way, to be honest. I was a lot more comfortable with the Carmelo argument.
Nah,
So-
that's switching. That's not switching up though. We was having very heated debates about this perimeter and off ball thing. And
I think Tim Duncan's better than Magic, and I argued for Magic over Tim Duncan.
nobody knew that though. Marz, you gotta understand.
Everyone knows my top
But
10
Marz-
and Magic isn't in it. Everyone knows
But
that.
Marz, you gotta understand the line.
No. In fairness,
you gotta understand. You gotta understand the
Magic at
limelight.
11th.
You gotta understand the
Yeah.
different scenarios that we're in.
Oh yeah,
you
you're
were to do
constant-
that.
Yeah, okay.
If you were to do that,
not
it
biased,
would be
yeah.
acceptable. Yes. If
Mhm.
I'm going to do that, it's not acceptable. So it's like,
Is the
I like
chat?
that.
Hey, PSP, Emil, I need y'all to answer this. Is the chat biased?
1,000%.
Without question.
Chat, are you biased? We need to know. Are y'all biased? Yes or no, chat?
Who did I felt bad for one person. I felt bad for Fluent a bit because even though I think you won that one, Marz, it shouldn't have been like 60-30. I don't think it should have been that.
What, the Duncan and Magic?
Yeah. It shouldn't have been 60-30.
I think the chat hates Dub, like clearly hates Dub. The chat loves Marz. They love Marz, bro. Some people definitely hate Marz, but I think majority love Marz. And
I think Chill and Marz are
Yeah,
the brains of the
Chill is very loved by the chat.
Yeah.
Ticket has his like following, so they're gonna vote for Ticket no matter what. Ticket's cooking, but then he has the people who just despise him and are gonna vote against him no matter what. So he's polarizing.
He's very cool.
Chill has the fans. I have the fan base. Dub has the chat turn against him because he always calls them biased, so they end up being biased. and then everyone else, I think the chat's pretty fair toward them, in my opinion. Besides the fact that I think Bob beat Fluent on the Carmelo and Charles Barkley thing.
You think Bob beat him for real?
Yeah, because Fluent just lied.
So just
blatantly
because
lied.
Oh, so when somebody
About the
lies, you
rebounding
drop off a
part,
lot of
Marz?
points.
Yeah, if your argument, if a big part of your argument is not true, I mean, it's kind of hard for me to say.
So then you lost against Dell.
Yes.
Well, at least Marz
funny.
acknowledges.
That's so funny. That's dope though. That's dope. Yeah, I thought Showtime was nasty for saying rebounder, and even then, like he had so many more arguments he could have picked, and he just didn't. And I'm like you could have argued it way better. Like if you should have picked Bobby, if you would have picked Karl Malone, you could have argued a way better.
But my thing is if he goes first and picks Karl Malone, I can't, like when I went against you, Dub. I wouldn't pick Jokic over David Robinson, but I had to just so I can argue something different.
That was the problem. The questions were too like it's either you pick this or you pick this, and most times people are going to agree on like most of the topics. You have to pick questions that are open ended so you can pick different arguments. Like for example, who is your top 5 players of all time? Who's your top 5 players of all time? And then if you both say your top 5, who do you guys disagree on? Then you argue about that. That's what you do. You can't just be like, who's better, MJ or LeBron? If you both have MJ, there's only 2 options. Like, what do you do? So that was just weird. I didn't like that.
But Marz, I was kind of surprised though that you picked Karl Malone over Charles Barkley. I actually thought you liked Barkley more because of the passing, the playmaking, the creativity, the transition over Karl Malone.
God,
I mean, I do 100% like Charles Barkley more, but I think Karl Malone he ranks higher for me. The longevity is a big part. I think defensively he cleared Charles Barkley, but I do agree Charles Barkley was a much better passer. He was a more efficient scorer. I'd argue he was a better post player and obviously a better rebound. If you wanted to go peak for peak, I do think there's a conversation, but I just think the defense is what gives Karl Malone the advantage.
Yeah,
Only problem I have with Chuck though was his shot selection, particularly from the 3. He was terrible at that.
Yeah, Dub, I beat you too on the Lakers. When you said the Lakers could win it, and I said the Warriors. I mean, my reasoning was better though. Like the Warriors got an easier road.
Yeah, but the LeBron James fans heard the Lakers and
you actually did a really good. You brought that up very well, so I was like, oh yeah, that was actually a really good point that you made. That one was.
And you went against the Kings. I thought you should have got a vote just for that. But
that's what I said. How I go against the Kings and y'all still don't give it to me. Now I'm out here just going against my team for nothing.
Yeah,
looking like a sellout.
Showtime also got given a free win when the question was LeBron versus Curry in the 2010s. That was just a free win. I don't know why that question was even there.
Yeah, that was easy. But Crunch,
Crunch spent the whole time arguing it's LeBron, but it's close. Like,
yeah. There was another one. Oh my God. Oh yeah, when Crunch was. I'm not gonna lie. If you have I'm fine with questions that have 2 answers, as long as the answer is like 50-50. Like for example. The Suns versus Clippers and then the Warriors versus Clippers. That was 50-50. I'm not going to lie. I thought the Suns was the correct answer. So the fact that nobody picked the Suns to argue that point, I thought that could have went either way. It's just if somebody had a better argument. I still can't believe they picked the Warriors over the Suns. I think the Suns is actually phenomenal. CP3 on the Clippers, facing them in the playoffs. The KD versus Kawhi thing is going to add some drama to that little small rivalry that people try to paint. I said, I don't understand why Crunch even went with the Warriors if the Suns was actually a better pick.
Yeah, I don't know.
I agree.
Mad Max said, told y'all Crunch can only debate LeBron.
That's what a lot of people can only do because LeBron is the extent of their basketball knowledge.
I said that in the group chat yesterday. I said Crunch is gonna have a hard time if the topics ain't LeBron or Kyrie because that is on.
That's crazy. Hey, Dub, I got this one for you. It was a Bronx May. Since Dub loves to disrespect the old school NBA players. Could WNBA players of today be able to beat NBA players from the 40s and 50s?
Dub,
No. Pack them up. Pack them up, boy. Pack them up. Yes, WNBA players is wiping them boys, bro. You see, bro, they be out on the court giving NCAA guys some business, man. So the WNBA players, come on, man. What we talking about?
George Mikan's like 6'10" though.
I was about to say,
George Mikan like 6'10".
Who he guarding?
But he like 6'10".
Who he guarding?
I'm not sure he can stay in front of anyone, but he like 6'10".
Yep.
Hey, look, the Aces and the Liberty will give the Spurs today some trouble. So.
Oh my God! I hope they don't post that on TikTok.
What?
They may.
The pack them up.
You never know.
You know what?
I'm pretty confident.
I stand with my women, man. Evolution's a thing, bro. Pack them up.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like most WNBA players,
W women. We love women in the WNBA.
Pack them up, man.
But they ain't beating the Spurs. They ain't beating the Spurs today.
I got the Liberty and the Aces giving the Spurs trouble right now.
And was that when 50s, 40s, and 60s. That's when the shot clock wasn't there, right, Marz?
Till 1955. So the first like 7 years, there was no shot clock. That's when George Mikan was dominating. They added a shot clock, he fell off. But that's what we mean.
Yeah. Caitlin Clark is giving them boys. I can say that.
100%.
You got to close out. My man Aramis Jones tapped in. Marz, you seen the Pelicans Clippers game last night. Brandon Ingram has been playing at a high level since he's come back, playing PG and all. What y'all think about BI?
I tried to tell people he's the best player on the team. But it's like when people have this thing where if a player's like not playing, you forget how good they are. I think it's the same reason people forgot how good Kevin Durant was. They forgot how good Steph Curry was when he missed that year in 2020. And you started hearing all that nonsense about Dame being the best point guard in the NBA. People, it's like out of sight, out of mind. You just forget how good they are.
I was in those conversations.
Oh, of course you are. So Brandon Ingram missing time. People forgot how good he was. People forgot how well he played in the playoffs last year. People just seem to forget his game. And now he's back and he's healthy and he's no longer has any foot problem. You're seeing he is the best player on the team, best playmaker on the team, the second best passer on the team, in my opinion, the best scorer on the team, a solid defender. Like, I don't know what more you could ask for from Brandon Ingram at this point, besides availability.
Availability.
Okay.
Beautifully said.
Because PSP, you were speaking on the Pelicans a little bit earlier too. So
yeah, I said.
What do you think about that? Do you think BI?
I think they're 6-1 or 7-1 in their last 6 or 7 games. I think. So there's that. But sorry, go on.
No, it's all good. I said before they should shut Zion Williamson down for the remainder of the season because I'm not going to further jeopardize his health. If Zion wants to play, that's up to him and that's up to the Pelicans staff. I like Brandon Ingram's game more than Zion because the mid-range, how he's improved as a three-point shooter. I think he's an underrated passer, playmaker, as well as a defender. So I just like Brandon's game. I think it's more smooth, more fluid.
What about you, Emil?
BI and Zion.
Yeah, do you think BI is their best player?
I said that at the beginning of the season. I do think Zion has closed the gap a little bit, though. It's hard to say because he can't stay healthy, and I would want to see him in the playoffs before I give a definite answer. But as of right now, I'm just gonna have to go Brandon Ingram. Like,
interesting how this take aged. Because when I said that at the time, everyone said I was crazy. But sorry, Curry.
My bad, Double.
Either that or I don't know. Either that, Marz, or correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you say you didn't have Zion top 20 or top 25 or somewhere around there?
Top 40.
No, top 30.
Nah,
top
you
30.
compared him to Jordan.
That was crazy. That was crazy. What this is what I said, and I've walked it back since. I said I for sure didn't have Zion top 30. I said that. I then said he might not be top 40, and then I listed off a bunch of players. And then I said he was in the same tier as Jordan Poole, which was egregiously wrong. I was terribly wrong. He's still not in my top 20. 100% he's not in my top 20. Okay. I don't think he's in my top 25, but he probably is top 30. So I was wrong.
Yeah,
I apologize to Zion for saying he was in the same tier as Jordan Poole. That was
I gotta admit, when you said that, I'm like, this ain't Marz. I mean, Marz.
Yeah, that was terrible. I don't know.
That was one of the first. That was one of the first and few times where Marz just said, "I'm on this diving board. I'm looking down at the water.
That was terrible.
Let me jump. Take me away, Lord."
That was so bad.
You did a belly flop from 50 feet.
Yeah.
That might honestly, Marz, that might have been your worst take. I mean, it is rare that you make rare takes like that, but that was, I mean, Zion with Jordan Poole. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, that is 100% the worst take I've ever made. That was really bad.
TikTok would disagree, man.
Yeah, but TikTok's dumb. I've recently started posting TikToks, by the way, so check out my TikTok.
Oh yeah, I mentioned the basketball reference with Larry Bird and Steph Curry that you were talking about.
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about the accolades and Dub bringing up Finals MVPs and stuff.
Fire, Bobby.
What's up?
Do you still say banging? Like, oh, that was banging.
Nah, hell no, bro. I never said banging,
bro. Somebody just hit me with that, and I'm like, I don't know how to respond.
Like, I thought you meant banging in like, you know, like the other term, like
yeah. No, but it's like I remember this was like a 2000s term. We're like, yeah, I was banging, bro.
Dub, how old do you think I am, bro?
You like
30?
28, right? 29?
No, I'm 32, but like I think banging was before me, bro. I think that was like,
Bro, this person is 31 years old using that term. I was like, I'm reading it. I'm like, no way you're doing this shit. I'm like, no way. Banging? Come on, stop playing with me, bro.
That's embarrassing.
So like I don't want to be rude, but in my head I'm like, I want to make fun of him. Because that is insane. Banging. Who says
I mean, okay, so yeah, Louis got a point. People say like that shit bang, you know what I'm saying, something like that. But I don't even say that. But I'll never say banging though. Hey, but here, PSP, you want to grab your super chat right here?
She banged.
It's kind of noisy over here.
She banged.
That's
She
no
moved,
good.
man.
Bro, my Pels may make the 6th seed. Zion most likely will be back this week, and Brandon Ingram been playing better defensively. He was even guarding Kawhi last night. Marz, you want to take this one?
Kawhi did have 40, just to make it clear. Kawhi did have 40, but I guess the effort is there. The 6th seed, I think they might be 1.5 games back, I think, of the 6th spot. I wouldn't be surprised if they could get 6, but I do think they have the hardest schedule remaining of all like the playing competing teams. I think they said Zion's going to be evaluated on Wednesday, I think, so he can maybe come back with like 2 or 3 games left. I doubt he plays this regular season. If they make the play, and he might play, but I think they're going to get the 7 or 8 spot and then play Memphis or Denver in round 1. That's what I think will happen.
Right.
That's so much. Before you got on, I was kind of saying that if I'm the Pelicans front office, I'm putting Zion out there because if they get the 6th seed, as their organization has to feel like they can beat us in the first round of the playoffs. I'm sure they feel that way if they're healthy, if Zion's healthy. So if they got faith in their team, I'm putting Zion on the floor.
Same. Considering they were a 1 seed before Zion went down, I know it was only like 25 games or something, but considering they were a 1 seed, they have to believe when fully healthy with BI, with Zion, with CJ, with Herb Jones, etc. They have to believe they can beat damn near anyone. So I think if they make the playoffs, whoever they play against, I think they would want Zion to play. And if he can't play 4 games in the playoffs without getting hurt, something's wrong with him. So that's all it is.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Like at this point, if you're gonna get hurt doing this, then you know what I'm saying, it's just not gonna work out.
Yeah, but I'm just afraid though. I'm just afraid once he gets injured, is it going to be like multiple weeks, a month or so? That's the concern with Zion, though. But if he's healthy, then of course, do what you
Denver
do.
don't want to see New Orleans. I'll say that Denver do not want to see New Orleans
or a healthy Lakers team.
If Zion is playing, Zion is going to average 35 on Denver, and it's going to be ridiculous.
God, boy.
Bobby is nice at ball.
Yeah.
You seen him play? You seen him play?
I've heard stories, and I believe people.
Okay.
I would like the chat to know that don't let this fun activities we do up here fool you. I will body a lot of people in a debate.
Debate. Okay.
No. Marz, your face went crazy, yo.
I thought you were talking about hooping.
Yeah, that's what I thought you was talking about.
J-Rob and G-Baby may say otherwise.
I think I could beat Bama in a one-on-one. J-Rob, I got to see him play.
Are you talking about real life right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait. What were you talking about, sports? You was talking about debating?
Yeah.
Yeah, J-Rob always overrates himself. It's cool.
Dub, do you be getting cooked on gridiron?
No, not really. Every now and then, but it's like that's when I put myself on a hill and I'm like, screw it, let me put myself on a hill.
Listen,
like,
I love Fluent, but when he said that Patrick Mahomes is under the most pressure to win the Super Bowl,
that was my problem. That now I'm more of a host, so it's like now it's like I don't know, like I want people to get burned, but at the same time I don't want to, like, you feel me? I want to argue stuff, so it's like,
when I'm a host, I'm just a panelist who reads the super chats. That's all I do as a host. So
no, they'll accuse you of being the stats guy.
Oh, still. By the way, like I said on my TikTok, by the way, follow my TikTok. Fluent tricks all you guys, by the way. Fluent has some of the worst takes of all time, and he just be tricking people. It's really bad.
I see that, and I wanted to talk to you about that.
What Fluent does is he makes an egregious take, and then when he gets called out on it, he'll be like, well, people would argue that. I'm not saying I would argue it, but people would argue it, so it makes it valid. Like when he said Ray Allen would be better than Steph Curry in today's game. He said Ray Allen would be better than Steph Curry, got called out on it by me and Lo, and then said, well, people would argue it, so it makes it no, that's what you said. You said Ray Allen would be better than Steph Curry because he shoots like Steph and could do more with the ball. That's what he said. And then he said, well, people would argue it. No, he just be making crazy takes and then falls back and says, well, it's not really my take. It's just what people would say. Like, no, stand on your take. Like, but it's cool. He just be tricking people.
Marz, I seen your TikTok and I forgot to like it, so I apologize. But
wow,
you put
I liked
Fluent,
your TikTok as well.
Yeah, you put Fluent over me, man. I couldn't believe that.
But Bob, that's what we were saying earlier on the show. Fluent sometimes can be like a manipulator.
Yeah. He's smooth with that. He's fire with his debating skills. But I think a lot of our basketball knowledge can mesh. You know, I think it combats, but he just got a little edge with, you know, keywords and stuff like that. But then again, you know, he's a businessman or whatever. You know, I think he probably been to some of those, you know, how to convince people seminars type shit. You know.
You know what's so funny? Right? Like, this is why I say it's just crazy to me. I said this all before, but just because I was emotionally invested into it, people weren't willing to bite. Now it's like, oh, you know, now I see what you're saying. It's like, bro, come on. Like, that's why people need to understand something. What's the truth is the truth. Don't matter how you say it or what comes out. You need to stop listening to how people say things and if it's actually accurate. Just because you have a distaste or you don't like the way somebody's saying something doesn't mean that what they're saying isn't correct. And that's what be happening to me, man. Like, it is what it is, bro. Like, it's cool.
But I want to get back to Fluent. He made an argument for Ray Allen in this era better than Steph Curry based on what shooting ability, playmaking, defense, or
what he said was Ray Allen would be viewed as better than Steph Curry because he shoots just as well, is better defensively, and can do more with the ball. That's what he said. So he lied about doing more with the ball. He also lied about how good Ray Allen was defensively, and he can't shoot just as well. But he also made an argument that MJ might be a better playmaker than LeBron because he played point guard for 11 games and averaged triple-double. So he just be making terrible arguments, and people just don't be calling him out on it. But, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's because he's old, or maybe it's because people don't really listen. But he be tricking people.
They listen to how people say things instead of what they're actually saying.
Exactly. That's the only reason I'll be losing debates, because I'm like, if I'm right, I'm right.
I don't believe Ray would have done better off the ball than Steph. I don't believe Ray would have done better off the ball than Steph. No.
Like yesterday, Bob had I forgot what they were talking about, but he was like, besides the KD Warriors team, Steph didn't have a better team than who was it? I forgot who.
Larry Bird. Larry
Bird. And then Fluent goes in and says, oh, well, you said that Stephen Curry didn't have better teams than Larry Bird. Did you forget the Kevin Durant Warriors? I was like, bro, he literally just said that.
Yeah, but the thing about it, it's like how I be saying, like when you're in the courtroom, if the defense attorney says something, if the jury already hears it, it doesn't matter if the judge says you can't talk about that in deliberation. Like, we already heard it. So the chat already hears Fluent say what he said, and I'm like, but that's not what I said, you know? It don't matter though. The chat already heard it. So now that's the vote.
I would like to say this. This is why I'm so polarizing. Like with Marzy's ticket.
Controversial.
The reason, so if you watch WWE, what can happen sometimes is you get a distaste and hate for somebody so much that when they are up against that person, you're automatically going to put them in a higher light and think that they're better than what they actually are. The reason why Fluent was not getting as much hate as he should have is because of everybody's distaste for me, wanting to see me fail, that it uplifted Fluent in the caliber of person in which he was. Now, since I stopped, and I stopped on purpose, because if I knew I would have continued this, it would have just gotten worse and worse. I would have been like a hater and everything. And Fluent would have been up and up and up. His stock would have rose. I stopped doing it. Look what's happening.
But Dub, with that being said, bro, you kind of like Heath Ledger's version of the Joker, though, bro. Like, you the villain that everybody loves, Dub. I don't think the chat dislikes you that much. I think there are some, But I think a lot of people in the chat like, yo, this is the bad guy that we root for in the movies.
Oh yeah.
Who's more the villain though, Dub or
Ticket?
Ticket?
Ticket's the villain. Ticket's the villain.
Unequivocally Ticket.
Yes. I'm like so you got the Joker. You could say I'm Lex Luthor. Joker's more polarizing than Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor is great, but man, the Joker's the Joker, bro. Ticket's on a different level, man.
Yeah, I feel you.
Ticket give me at least like 20 videos to post a month on TikTok just off of his takes, bro.
Yeah, he be saying the wildest stuff.
Henny Dub is Deadpool. I would say that.
Hey, where Henny Dub been? We miss Henny Dub.
He appears on Open Gym, just saying nonsense, but I don't know if he appears on the other show.
I just stopped drinking as much as I used to. I just been I was drinking a lot, bro. Drink water, yes. I was drinking a lot, so I chilled out, and then just drinking on the shows in general. Just sitting down with a cup in my hand all the time. God damn, bro. I don't want to feel like having a little high every time I'm on here, bro.
Yeah.
I just drank D Serranos and Angry Orchards and red wine. That's about it.
I'm too young to drink.
Did you say the orchids? The apple
orchards?
Yo, I just figured out about that during the Super Bowl, bro. I said, there's no way. I said, my friend hit me up with it. He was like, here, drink this. I said, what the hell is this? He was like, oh, it's just Angry Orchards. I was like, you look like a real bitch drinking this, bro. You know that?
Wow.
My bad, PS people. That's what I told him, bro. I was like, give me the Corona, bro. Give me
I like Angry Orchards. I'm not a beer dude. I don't like beer at all. It just tastes nasty, funny to me, man. But it's either that, D Serranos, red wine, some Henny from time to time. I don't mind that Henny though.
Henny's becoming very overrated for me, man. That thing is disgusting. People just drink it because it's a popular drink. People just want to be cool and everything. No, bro. Hennessy's disgusting, bro. There's a bunch of drinks better than that.
You tripping, dog?
I promise you.
Oh, he's not tripping. What?
Bobby, I could put you on so many drinks that you would like drinking over that thing. I promise you.
I feel you. I know there is a bunch of drinks I like more than Hennessy. I don't drink Hennessy like that no more, but I don't think it's disgusting.
Remy Martin's better. Easy. Douce.
Jack Daniels.
No.
Douce. You
don't like Jack Daniels?
Hennessy.
Nah,
you don't like Jack Daniels though?
I like the only Jack Daniel I like is the Tennessee Fire one, mainly because it's not as syrupy as Fireball. But other than that, I don't like the whiskey at all. It's nasty as hell.
Yeah. Let's stop promoting alcohol and get on to some of these super chats.
Oh, my bad.
Aaron's Jones tap back in. Kawhi's a dog. The LOL man's automatic. 100% our best chance of going anywhere is definitely fully healthy. He's talking about the Pelicans, just for everybody that doesn't know.
Just get rid of CJ. That's it. If you can trade CJ for a legitimate point guard, or elevate Dyson Daniels, who I think has huge potential in the NBA, and get CJ for maybe another 3-and-D wing type, I think you guys have a very strong chance. Obviously, assuming Zion's health and BI's health. But right now, I think your ceiling is probably second round conference finals.
That's as far as CJ can get him, and I would still keep Dyson because of the potential. I just like the fit, how he is to the team.
Yeah, I agree. His best chance is fully healthy.
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes I do wish though that Lonzo was back in New Orleans. That's just me.
I just wish Lonzo could play basketball.
Man, facts.
Those knees, man, he can't stay healthy, man.
That's terrible. I hate that for the young fella. I hope pray for Lonzo. Mm-hmm. Brandon from the block. Lakers in 7
against the Nuggets.
Chill, BLA.
If they were facing the Nuggets, if the Lakers were healthy, I don't think Denver would want to deal with them. But I don't know. That's I gotta wait and see on that.
Yeah. NPR. To be a villain, you have to be good. Dub ain't a villain.
Damn, Dub. He said you're not good. That's tough.
Yeah, NPR has been I wouldn't use that word, but he's been on somebody's jockstrap this whole episode. His name rhymes with Tub, so I mean that's haters going to hate. It is what it is. So.
Yo.
Oh man. Zuda. Hope y'all well. I'm going on 2 years sober.
That's what's up.
That's fire.
Salute to you, fam.
Congratulations, brother.
Yes, sir.
Wanted to go through one more quick thing before we end it. I think we're gonna end it a little earlier today.
Okay.
If that's all right with y'all. But before that though, since we just kind of going back to the topic of the show, we went over our biggest letdowns of 22-23 season. But what about our personal letdowns as far as before the season? I know we all picked like MVP race or who we thought we were going to be in the playoffs and what we thought we were going to be. Does anybody have any personal letdown in that regard that you would like to speak on?
Yes, Kevin Durant. I had him win an MVP in December. Dub, your Miami Heat fucked that up. Jimmy Butler came down on his knee. No, I'm joking. But like I said, I think the biggest letdown, I think, is still going to be Zion for me, bro, because just seeing what the Pelicans did without him in the playoffs and playing last year and then seeing what they did with him in the beginning of the season, I think that's still going to be my biggest letdown.
PSP hit it on the money, and I forgot to mention it. At least for me, Atlanta, Trae Young, and the Hawks. I had a lot of faith in them, man. I thought they were going to play very well. I thought Trae Young was going to capitalize on the year he had before. And even though he is making some strides right now, the whole totality of the season is just not what I wanted it to be. I still got a lot of love for Trae Young, and I hope he turns it around next season. But, I had a lot of expectations for that Hawks unit. And for them to be an 8th seed right now, it's not – they should have been where Cleveland was, in my opinion. And it's just a huge letdown for me.
What about you, Marz?
Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns. I thought,
Really?
Yeah, before the season, I think I said conference final ceiling for them. I think I had them as a top 5, top 6 seed. I had faith that Rudy Gobert was going to be able to hide Cat's flaws on defense. That aged terribly because Karl Anthony Towns is egregious. I really thought that team was going to be. I thought what Sacramento are doing. I thought that's what the T-Wolves were going to be able to do, and they didn't do that. So yeah, they let me down pretty bad.
I thought the T-Wolves were going to be pretty good this year. I mean, they're still in the hunt. PSP, you said you're sticking with New Orleans as far as...
I got to say this. I actually had Jabari Smith winning Rookie of the Year.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, no, I could have told you that wasn't going to happen.
I was dead wrong. I feel just as bad as you were, Marz, when you said Zion and Jordan Poole are on the same level.
I could have told you that was gonna. I tried to say before the draft he wasn't gonna be. Nah.
No, I liked him because of his perimeter shooting, his defense. There were questions about the ball handling and the passing, and
the finishing at the rim.
Yeah.
He is good defensively, though. I will say that he is good defensively.
He's good defensively. I just think with the Rockets, Silas, unfortunately for him, he has to go. And you're going to have to get a new head coach. You're going to have to get some veterans for the younger players. You just hope you get Wembanyama. That's all I got to say.
We're getting Wemby. Don't worry.
Just get a new, just wipe down the organization, get a whole new one at this point. Jesus Christ.
Just keep Jalen Green.
I almost forgot.
Keep Sengun, get Wembanyama, and everyone else can go.
Yeah,
I almost forgot a major one, man. Ime, who stroked you, man? It's gotta be one of the biggest letdowns.
You think he'll ever be a coach again?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I think he will be, but
we'll
not for
take
Boston.
him to Houston. We'll take him
Not for Boston. Boston, he's done in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
But Ime, who stroked you?
Ime, who stroked you? My biggest letdown is the Sacramento Kings.
Despite making third and Mike Brown winning Coach of the Year.
Your biggest letdown is who?
This is the first
Man,
time
we
they've
should-
made
we
the
should've-
playoffs in like
we should-
16 years, Bob.
See,
Okay,
this
so
is-
let
this is
me
why
speak
when
on
people-
let me speak
You've
on
been
that
in the
PSP.
gutter for my whole life. You have a good year and you're still let down. That's crazy.
Let me speak on that PSP because y'all talk about the Sacramento Kings haven't made the playoffs in 16 years and this and
Since
that.
LaMarcus
That-
Aldridge got
yeah,
drafted and he just
But
retired.
look, Doug, that don't got nothing to do with DeMontis Sabonis, Kevin Huerter, Keegan Murray, Malik Monk. Those guys wasn't on the Kings. We could talk about John Salmons and those guys not making the playoffs. These guys, that they weren't there for 16 years. They did not make the playoffs 16 years. That's Kings organization. That's the Maloofs. That's Vlade Divac.
What were
That's
their
all them.
expectations this year, though? What were their
I'm
expectations?
talking about for me personally.
What were your expectations?
You had them
I
as a
thought
top 3 seed.
Yeah, but look, I was saying that just because I didn't want to get blackballed from the show again. I thought we were supposed to be the number 1 seed.
Oh my
You know what I'm
God.
saying? I thought we were supposed to be the 1 seed. I thought we were gonna have 50 wins. I thought we were gonna have 50 wins.
Marz,
7
How
games
much?
ago.
How
Bobby,
much
love
were
you.
you were drinking,
PSP.
Bob? How much
Yo,
alcohol?
y'all be safe. Yo, love
Yo,
y'all.
what you-
Amazing show. Y'all be safe, bro. I'm out.
Hey, I'm just saying.
That's so ungrateful. That's crazy.
I told y'all 2-3 months ago we was gonna win the West. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I was just being modest, trying to stay humble.
You know what?
you know?
You know what? Like I said, I mentioned this with Fluent and Chill. You're the 3rd seed, first time in 16 years. You haven't been to the playoffs. You probably have no expectations because when you haven't been to the playoffs that long, when you haven't been to the playoffs that long, and if the season ended today, Sacramento has the 3 seed, who they would probably face with the 6 seed.
The Clippers.
Right now, it's the
right
Clippers.
now. Yeah.
Right. Even though a lot of people would pick the Clippers because of who they are, I wouldn't be surprised if Sacramento won it.
Well, we're supposed to win that series. That's I'm not even sweating that matchup. You know, but my thing is like people once again, I'll just reiterate those 16 seasons had nothing to do with the team we are today. Those are past teams, and we can't be burdened by the fact that they failed. You know what I'm saying? We're here to win, and we're here to do nothing other than that. You know what I'm saying?
How is that a letdown?
Yeah.
Just because I think we're the best team in the West, and I think sitting at the 3rd did show that. I think we dropped some games that we weren't supposed to drop. We got cheated out of like 5 from the refs, and I think we can all agree on that. So I do believe that we're the best team in the West, and I don't think being the 3 seed shows that.
I think you should be grateful that Kevin Durant didn't get traded to the Suns earlier. Also, that Kawhi Leonard is low mentioned because
we definitely not worried about the Suns. Like we're definitely not worried about the Suns.
Okay.
I think everyone should be worried about the Suns, but
I was about to say, okay, let him talk. Okay.
Look, I mean, y'all gonna see. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna see. Just like I've been telling y'all for 5-6 months now, y'all gonna see. Like the beam. But we are. Would you? Oh, you know. Hold on a second. I think we got one more super chat.
Go ahead.
And this is disrespectful. Ray Allen today is a less athletic Zach Lavine. Thank you for the super chat, Jeremiah Smith. We appreciate you. We love you, fam. This is crazy though. I think we're gonna cut it at 11:30 today. Unless anybody has any hot takes, anything they want to get off their chest right now. Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Jokic might win the MVP again. I wouldn't be mad, but him or Embiid, I think Embiid cost it by that Monday night by not playing against the Nuggets. I get it due to health. Had he played that game, had another dominant performance, maybe it would have been his MVP. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if Jokic won it.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was saying I agree.
Okay, I guess my hot take is Killian Hayes will not be in the NBA much longer. So I think his contract expires next season. He will not be in the NBA after that contract. He is not an NBA caliber player. He is ridiculously bad at basketball. He can't use his right hand. He can't shoot. He's not a good passer. He can't play defense. So Killian Hayes, congratulations to you for making maybe like $10 million in your career. You will be playing overseas very soon, my friend. I don't know if that's.
I thought you were gonna go for James Wiseman take.
No, James Wiseman he has potential. Killian Hayes has no potential. So James Wiseman, people are going to give more second chances to, even though he's bad right now. He also, I think, maybe has an extra year on his deal. But I do think James Wiseman will get a second contract. Killian Hayes will not. He will not be in the NBA.
Is he really that bad? Like,
he's egregious. There's not one thing he brings positively on a basketball court. Yeah, he's a bad scorer, but maybe he might be a good passer. No. Maybe he can't shoot, but he's good at the rim. No. Maybe he's a good ball handler. He can run an offense. No. Maybe he can guard point guards. No. Maybe he can rebound for a guard. No. Like, there's nothing he can do.
Marz, how old is Killian?
21.
21.
I've given up.
Get a young boy 2-3 more years.
no.
We knew Emmanuel Mudiay wasn't good enough for the NBA after like 2-3 years. And he was okay overseas. Put Killian Hayes overseas. Like, he's not going. There's no team is going to give him another extended contract. There might be a team like the Spurs next year who might give him a 1-year deal, maybe, but he ain't going to be in the NBA much longer.
And he has a fan base. That's the thing too. He has a little fan base. Well,
I think he had a documentary before he got drafted. That's why. So people just started rooting for him. But he's
where's Killian from?
France.
France. I mean, Frenchies. They either they make it or they don't.
Yeah, and let's just hope Wemby is better than Killian Hayes.
But it seems like to me with French players lately, it hasn't turned out well. I mean, Frank Ntilikina.
At least he can play defense. He brings something at a good level. He's just egregious.
No, he could give you defense. He can give you energy, athleticism. But Killian Hayes, egregious, horrendous.
Shout out to Killian Hayes, though, man.
Shout out Killian. Like I said, man, Frenchies. Never know what you're gonna get. Emil, you got a hot take? You got anything?
Suns and 4. If that's a hot take, bro, I'm gonna
Suns and 4.
Suns and 4. See y'all in a week. Matter of fact, I'm not even gonna say nothing. To see y'all in a week, bro.
Suns and 4 right now. Y'all at 4 seed. Y'all be matched up with this. Oh,
they'd have the Warriors.
The Warriors. Right now. Yeah, we need that. Yeah,
they'd beat the Warriors in like 6 games.
Warriors got to be able to win on the road.
I think they do beat the Warriors, but I just want to see it. I think that's great for views. Good, just great to watch. Great. I think that matchup is good for basketball for obvious reasons.
And Kevin Durant hasn't been back there since.
Well, has he been ducking the bag?
He been hurt. That's ducking it, I guess.
I mean, the same way Embiid's been ducking Denver.
Oh, and also, don't LeBron and KD play for the first time?
If they play, yes. But
that would be exciting, though.
We need
the first time since 2018, I think.
Yeah,
so.
2018.
19 Christmas.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
They're doing us a disservice, man. They need to get out there together. We need to see that. Well, if anybody got any final words, anything they want to leave the people with? Marz?
I'll see you guys for the next Players' Choice event. I'll be 3-0 at that point. So, yeah, that's what I do.
Emil?
Like I said, Suns and 4. Check out the TikTok. KD's burner. Going up.
W plug.
PSP.
Oh, man, just Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Check me out. Also, big shout out again to Mikal Bridges. Ever since he's been traded to Brooklyn, he's been playing like crazy.
All right, fire. Well, I'll just leave y'all with this quote by Michael Altshuler. The bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot. Y'all stay safe. Hold it down.
Nice quote.
Thanks, man. Thanks.